What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 117 of the Nonsense Review and the fifth and final episode of May the 5th. I'm your host, as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Today's a big one. We kept our cards close to our chests, but we're watching the very last of the original trilogy today, of Star Wars, I should say.
Yeah, we are. A little behind the scenes. This is the first Star Wars that I ever put into the tape recorder and watch, and I'm like, oh, cool. Luke's got a green lightsaber. I like green. And then realised, oh, okay, this is actually the wrong one. And then went back and started on the correct tape.
Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of weirdly looking forward to watching this film with you, Rick. Not because of any grandiose reason other than I know you're a massive Star Wars nerd, certainly a bigger one than I am. So I don't doubt you're going to be blowing my mind at least once or twice while watching this.
Hopefully. We'll see. We'll find out.
Okie dokie, and with that ominous message, those of you unfamiliar with the podcast may not know this, but before we actually get into the reaction part / review part, we like to briefly talk about our weeks and the goings on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
My phone broke.
Oh, we're just starting straight with that, are we? Okay.
Yeah, between us recording last and 2 days later, it just decided to pack in. So it's now gone off to not so much phone heaven, it's gone to phone hospice, where it can be hopefully repaired. And if not, they'll just send me a new one because it's under insurance.
That's a grim way of looking at the hospice system.
Well, yeah, they don't send you a new one from a hospice.
We'll get you a new grandma. A better grandma.
With blackjack and hookers. But yeah, so that's gone. Obviously a fault with the manufacturing because, these things don't just break being well taken care of after not very many months, less than a year.
For those of you not in the know, which I imagine a good chunk of our audience isn't, Rick's got one of those newfangled weird phones that has a crease in the middle so you can flip it and fold it and do weird things. And basically, it's a fuck up with that part.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing that's been bugging me most all week. However, there are things out in the wide world that have been happening, and it's mostly sad news. There is one that, under normal circumstances, would be sad because he's part of a lot of people's childhoods growing up, but with the most recent, well, not even recent, with allegations that turned out to be true, and what he basically spent his life in prison for, Rolf Harris,
I like that, life in prison. It's not even 10 years, mate.
Well, it was the rest of his life.
Yeah, true, I guess, but life in prison for the last 10 years of your life when you make it to 93 is fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's like a victory lap for being a shit. But yeah, he's gone now, and when I heard about it, I basically said, good, and moved on with my life.
But yeah, I will just say, I'm of a generation beyond Jimmy Savile, so Jimmy Savile wasn't, heartbreaking. It was disgusting to find out about, because obviously fucking horrible things that creature did, but Ralph Harris is one that kind of broke my heart a little bit, because I used to watch Animal Hospital as a kid.
Yeah, I too grew up watching Rolf Harris things. He used to be on, CBBC. He was, one of the hosts for that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Bastard, gone. We don't have to worry no more.
Yep. However, there are some less fun ones. The Queen of Rock and Roll, Tina Turner, has passed away.
Queen of Rock and Roll?
Well, yeah, she was, the Queen of Rock and Roll is what she was known as, apparently.
Okay. Her music never really vibed with me, but fair enough. I'll tell you why her music didn't vibe for me. I think it's because it got played all the time in the 90s when I was a kid, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, same reason I can't stand ABBA.
Fucking ABBA's a fucking unique brand of hell, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Either you're over 50 and you think it's the best sing? Well, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll go with best sing since sliced bread. Or you're under 40 and you're fucking sick of it.
You didn't even have to experience the bulk of it.
No.
We're angry at the wrong thing. Tina Turner, 83.
Yeah, she had a pretty good innings and wish the best to her family. The other one that I've got on my docket is one Ray Stevenson. We chatted about this before the podcast. He was the first, it wasn't the first Punisher, but he was one of the earlier Punishers.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, but more close to our wheelhouse. He was Gar Saxon in Clone Wars and Rebels. He was Volstagg in the Thor movies, and he's...
I don't know who that is.
It's one of Thor's jobbers, like Lady Sif.
Oh, so who gives a fuck then? Sorry, not about the actor, obviously, but the fucking character.
If you're a Thor nerd, I'm pretty sure he's one of the top Thor characters.
But doesn't mean shit all, because in the MCU they don't do fuck.
Yeah, he shows up in each film just to be a jobber. And he was also in the Ahsoka series, which is upcoming. He was meant to be in one episode, which it's already filmed, so it's gonna come out posthumously. And the thing that a lot of people are bummed out about, other than the fact that a beloved actor has died, is that the character that he's playing was essentially going to be the Jorah Scabower of the Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, dumb it down.
It's the insane cloned Jedi Master that is Thrawn's pet in the Thrawn books.
And that's definitely confirmed that that's what that character's going to be an analog of.
It was, as far as people have been able to divine from things in production, yes.
Okay, so that's not 100% confirmed, it's just fan theory.
It's not 100%, and he's only in one episode, so if he's one and done in that episode, then obviously he wasn't.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because, again, being in one episode, it's hard to think you're going to be, unless they deal with Thrawn in season 1, which would be a real fucking... It's not impossible, but fucking Gideon got 3 series.
Yeah, he did.
I like Gideon, and I like the actor, but, like, you can't give him more screen time than Thrawn.
Yeah, and Cad Bane got 2 episodes in live action, didn't he?
Yeah, but Cad Bane was, like... I don't think Cad Bane should have lived that long.
No.
Cad Bane lived that long because Filoni wanted the scene between him and Boba Fett that had to get cut from Clone Wars.
Yeah, the number of people that just ran straight to Google saying, how long did Duros live for?
Not that long.
No, not normally. But yeah, that's about it from people that I know that have passed away, and...
I'm going to take the ball from you because I have one additional name to add to the list, and instead of breaking it up so we've got 2 lots of grimness, I'm just going to piggyback off Rick's little segment here. One more person who passed away, which I think might have technically passed away last week because May 21st. No, that was this week. One Dave Brandt. You may not recognise the name, but you'll recognise the face. He's the guy on the meme of it ain't much, but it's honest work.
Okay.
He died at the age of 76 in a car accident. The reason why I'm bringing this up isn't just because, oh no, main man is dead. Let's be sad. It actually blew my mind because I did a bit of digging, and the guy was actually quite important as far as agriculture is concerned.
Yes.
He basically worked for the US government's conservation service, and he came up with a method of soil, I'm looking for the actual technical term. To help keep soil healthy for longer.
Yeah, soil additives. Like, you've got different grades of soil depending on where we are in the world.
Yes, but more importantly, without using artificial pesticides and artificial ingredients. Yeah, to control soil erosion and increase nitrogen in the soil without using artificial chemicals.
Sure.
Tangentially related to what we're doing today, in 2012, the chief of the USDA NRCS, which is the organisation I just mentioned, conservation, dubbed Brandt the Obi-Wan Kenobi of healthy soil.
Oh,
so
that's a cool title.
It is. He also got interviewed about his status as a meme, and he said, well, I say it a lot of times, and he was quite flattered, although he said that his English teacher probably wouldn't have approved of the use of the word ain't.
Ah, yes.
But yeah, he seemed like a genuinely good guy. It looked like he had a rather interesting life, admittedly only kept in Cliff Note form, because Wikipedia, it's a good source of knowledge, but it doesn't know everything. So, yeah, that's sad. And I'll give it back to you for the rest of your weeks.
I do have one little bit of ray of sunshine. The gentleman in question has not been named in any of the articles I read about it, but scientists have been able to connect a paralyzed man's brain to his spinal cord via Bluetooth, and he's been able to walk again.
That's insane.
Yep. This has happened, and the articles have been posted within the last 18 hours. He's a bit shaky on his feet, but that's a massive step up from wheelchair.
No shit. That's some fucking sci-fi future shit I can get behind.
Yes, absolutely. It's absolutely the kind of thing that I want anybody in medical funding to be funding. Like, these kind of things that change lives for the better after some kind of awful accident. Because he was paralyzed in an accident. He already knew how to walk.
Yeah.
Which meant that, he had some kind of advantage in rehabilitating himself.
Yeah, sure. Like, I think to the layman, people look at that and their minds will be blown. My mind's still blown, but it's also blown in the fact that someone looked at the technology of Bluetooth and made several leaps, perhaps logical ones, to go, I bet we could probably do this if we try, and then fucking worked at it. We don't know how long this project's been worked on, because people don't usually reveal anything about these things until they get results. They could have been working at this for fucking years.
Yeah, it's really inspiring stuff. So, on that upturn, I'm going to hand it over to you. How has your week been, and what have you seen out in the wide, wide world?
MCM is this weekend. By the time people listen to this, I would have been and gone. In fact, behind the scenes, we're doing this a day early because I go on the Friday. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
There's some guests there, like the voice cast for God of War are there, except for Kratos, but of course not.
Sure. But yeah, that gives you a nice head start on merch before the general public can get in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it does seem to be like paying extra to be among nerds while going to an aircraft hangar sized Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, it's also not that much expensive. It's like an extra £7, and an extra £7 for 2 hours extra without everyone in there, especially considering I think it's half-term week.
Yes, I think it is, yeah.
There will be people just attending this weekend who are just like, well, it's half-term, we live near enough to London, let's just go to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I digress. I'm looking forward to it. I will maybe reveal my swag if I buy anything decent next week, so look forward to that, audience.
Yeah, good shit.
You and I both did a thing, Rick, individually of one another, but we both did it. We both watched Helluva Boss Series 2, Episode 4, Western Energy.
We did. It was fun.
Was it?
Okay. The fun bits were fun. The ending was a bit heavy.
A bit.
Yeah, it's the heaviest we've seen.
Even that, I'm kind of debating, because the end of the last season's finale that they didn't get to actually do the second part of was pretty fucking heavy as well. Similar vein too.
Yeah, however, we do get the abridged version of what the lost episode would have been in freeze frame text messages.
Anyway, it was a good episode. It was good seeing Stryker again. Apparently not voiced by Norman Reedus, but whoever they got to voice Stryker, I couldn't tell the difference. So kudos on that front. Much needed levity by having the Luna at the vet being interspliced with the super serious showdown.
Yeah, because Erica Lindbeck is still not back.
Okay, but again, even if she was back as a voice actress, I think they needed to break up the heavy setting.
Yes, but yeah, she's been conspicuously non-vocal for the past couple of episodes.
You say that she's been conspicuously non-vocal. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, in this episode, all she did was growl. In the previous episode, all she did was play on her phone.
But that's perfectly in sync with the character, though.
Yes, exactly. So they wrote around the limitations in a fun way.
Sure. I will say this, is it Stella's cousin or is it her brother?
Could be either.
Either way, that character I found fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
At the beginning when he's trying to be really diplomatic and lawyer his way into negotiating on Stella's behalf, and Stella just fucks it up and he just snaps, but he snaps in such a civilized way of going, oh, for fuck's sake, Stella, you're making this so much harder to bullshit.
Yeah. Any pretense that anyone might have had at Stella being some kind of mastermind is completely out of the window. No, she's a total bimbo that just wants people to be dead.
I don't know if bimbo's the right word, but yeah, she's not some master manipulator.
No.
She's used to being handed everything in her life, and for the first time, someone's not bending to her will, and her first solution is murder the fucker.
Yep.
But she can't even do that right. Which, to be fair, isn't entirely her fault, because she had to do a last-minute U-turn. Like, by all accounts, Stryker had Stolas dead to rights.
Yeah.
Last-minute U-turn there. It's nice to see Moxie with a bit more bollocks on him.
Yeah, it was great. It was like his catharsis episode as much as anything else in terms of Moxie and Millie being able to, like, kick Stryker's ass.
Oh, yeah. Two more things I want to comment on. They both involve Blitz. When Stolas phones up Blitz, and Blitz is like, you got to be more specific about the cowboy thing, and Moxie's in the background just going, how many sexy killer cowboys do you know? Something to that effect. Made me laugh.
Can you describe him better? Oh, he's sexy. Stryker.
Yeah. And yeah, I think the line that got everyone a bit upset was zooming in on a really sad-looking Blitz as he goes, wait, he can get hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a bit telling of perhaps Blitz will start softening, shall we say.
Yeah.
Stop softening? Start softening? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, he can begin his basically... I'm saying his face turn, but, like, stop being such a stereotypical demon.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's hell, everyone's a bit of a dickhead, and they play up that fact, they don't make any secret of it. I'm sappy enough to want a happy ending for Blitz and Stolas, and the more I watch, the more I think we're not going to get it.
Well...
Anyways, is there anything else you want to add on the Helluva front?
I think the he can be hurt thing, it really highlights what Stolas was saying to Stryker when he was being, like, tortured, of, Blitz holds sharper things to my throat on a weekly basis. Like, yes, it's trying to unnerve the person torturing you, but it's probably true.
It might be true, but as far as I'm aware, like, it seems that Stryker's and specifically, like, heavenly weaponry that he's gotten somehow can actually do real harm. So I think Stolas was being blasé for the sake of being blasé, but I don't know how the rules work, so...
Yeah. We'll have to watch and see and find out, unless this is the last we're going to see of... I think this might be the last we see of Stryker for quite some time.
Yeah, probably. Like, it wouldn't make much sense for him to come back, especially seeing as now Stella has officially called off the hit.
Yep.
Destiny 2, Titan's back, and so Sloane. I like Sloane. She's big and muscly.
Yeah, she's a very fun character to have around in that she's incredibly serious.
She's Zavala with less of a stick up her ass.
Yeah, and she's also like literally a sister of battle. She's got purity seals.
Well, I think she's a space marine. Like, but yeah. Anyway, whatever you want to say, it's one of those where I'm curious to see how many lines Lance Reddick has had recorded in advance, because I wasn't expecting new dialogue from Zavala anytime soon, and yet we got it.
Yeah.
So it could be the entire season's already been voiced. I don't know.
Did you watch the thing that I spoiled this morning?
Yeah, but I already knew about it.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, it's one of those where, okay, we're just going to break it down. We got a new trailer for the next big thing they're going to bring out in, they said around August time, which conveniently enough is 90 days away, which is the end of the season.
I don't know if it's August or if it's like full on next year. Like, I think they normally do 4 seasons before they go into a new expansion. But if it is this close, then yeah, it's something for a lot of us to get hyped for.
The date that they revealed at the end of the thing you sent was like the 22nd of August. Whether that means that's when it's releasing or when we find out more, who knows? But it's weird to put a date at your end of your thing, and it's just going to be that's when there's more info.
Yeah. Tellingly, Zavala was absent from the scene that they showed. This might have been, real life right plot. However, we got the rest of the Vanguard.
Yeah, okay. You saying that actually makes a bit of sense, because like it could be that it was going to be Zavala and Ikora getting shit done, and they've had to do a last minute swerve change. But before having that as a bit of an idea in the mind brain, I was just annoyed at the trailer because I went, oh cool, so that's a lot of fucking content you've put out that's irrelevant.
Yeah, including the bit where that character has his arc.
You can just say the name, like it's out there. It's not spoilers if it's in a trailer.
Yeah, we completely got the expansion where Cade gets shot and killed removed, and now Cade's back.
It's fucking bollocks is what it is. Like, I give Destiny 2 a lot of slack because I don't really care that much, but it's also one of those where like the most annoyed I've been with Destiny 2 is when you told me, oh, by the way, if you want to play Forsaken stuff, you got to pay again, and I'm like, what?
Yep.
But I bought it.
It was less galling to me because I switched from PlayStation to PC, and I'm like, okay, I kind of expected to have to buy the expansions again.
Yeah, but you said no. Even that's bullshit because you synced your account.
Yeah. So you get to keep things that you have, but you don't get to, pick up more of it.
Anyway, that's bullshit. It was also a bit of a lie them saying that we've got Titan back, because we haven't. It's not a real planet anymore. It's
no.
It's a strike zone.
Yeah, it's big.
I mean, it's got all the areas it used to have. It's just you can't go on there and treat it as a planet no more.
No, which is a bit of a shame.
Bit.
Apparently that's what they did with the EDZ before they updated it to actually be a planet. So we might actually get it as a landable area in the future.
Maybe. By the by, I've beaten the campaign now that gives you stasis, and boy, this is turning into the Destiny podcast, but fuck it. And it really fucking irks me quite a bit in that the entire time you're playing the campaign, you're like, we need to keep Varric alive for the time being, because your character's pissed off about the Cade stuff, and it's like, he was the most indirectly responsible for that shit ever.
Yeah, like, it happened in the Prison of Elders that he was kind of responsible for.
Like, I get it. I get you're pissed, but Crow is standing there.
Yeah. And he gets his memories back, so he has his memories of being older and soft.
Well, fuck it then. Like, why are you still pissed at this fucking dude?
Yeah, Holiday's got the right idea. She shoots him with a shotgun whenever she gets a chance.
Alright, to be fair, if you did that to Varric, he can't come back.
True.
But anyway, you ready for a bit of news?
Yeah, let's go.
None of it's good.
Oh.
So apparently it's unsafe for black people to go to Florida now?
Oh, yes. It has been for... this is like 3 or 4 weeks ago that they put out this bulletin, wasn't it? And, yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure, but like in this last week it's been particularly bad where you have politicians representing Florida making jokes about it. Like... oh, black people no longer visit Florida, something about tipping. And it's like, yeah, that's not really the takeaway you should be having.
Yeah, that's not what anyone asked.
For all intents and purposes, a massive amount of Florida's income is from tourism. And you're actively celebrating that black people no longer want to go to your state because you, and I quote, are putting them in the same ranks as the gays and the queers and the transes in that you don't like them, they need to stay out.
Yep.
Florida's fucked.
And yet another person has had had their Twitter revoked. Not so much Twitter revoked. They have removed themselves from Twitter because Elon's all down with it for posting pro-Hitler things.
Elon's... we use Twitter to promote our podcast. That's what we use it for. A lot of people use Twitter just to promote shit. But, has it become more of a cesspool ever since the fucking haha funny meme man has taken over?
However, we now have blue marks to distinguish who is a dickhead.
I guess.
If you paid for a blue mark, you're very much foolish.
Yeah, if you're black or gay or trans, I probably don't need to say this, and you probably not even listen to this podcast, but maybe consider moving away from Florida if you're stuck there.
If you have the means, that's the big issue.
Well, I'd move to Disneyland. That seems to be a safe haven, and it's not, but it's the closest thing you're going to get. And yes, that is a joke answer, because I don't have a serious answer for that problem. Florida's fucked, and it's only going to get worse.
Troubling times.
Bit closer to home, Rick. Philip Schofield, aka known child groomer, says he'll step down from This Morning after about 2 years of it being fucking known that he groomed a child.
Yeah. Apparently people that are close to him are saying, oh, it's just as difficult to me to lose him as it is for him to actually have to go.
I'll tell you this, Rick, right? And no word of a lie, I expect you to have a similar opinion. If it came out to me that you were grooming children, I would immediately sever ties. And I assume the vice versa would be true.
Yeah, I'd guess so.
It's not something I can forgive. It's not something I can let someone live with.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that actually severing ties is not the correct thing to do until that person is behind bars.
Well, yeah, but in this case, it's a bit of a unique one because everybody knows about it. They're just not talking about it.
Yep.
Again, Philip Schofield, the monster, monster's the right word, that he is, put up a masterful smokescreen because don't forget the whole reason why it got buried is because he heroically came out as gay live on air. And again, it often gets swept under the rug. The whole reason he did that is because the boy he groomed threatened to go to court. Well, don't threaten, said he was going to court because what he did was wrong. Philip Schofield, that is. So Philip Schofield went, oh, but I'm gay and I'm sorry, blah, 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 sorry to his wife and kids, not sorry for being gay. And everyone's like, oh, it's so heroic. And then next week, all this stuff it didn't make the news because, hero, fuck off.
Man, I know it's not the correct tone, but all I can think of is Daffy Thomas going, oh, I'm sorry and gay.
I mean, I'll take any lightheartedness at this moment because it's fucked.
Yeah. yeah. You laugh or you cry.
Speaking of lightheartedness, I am going to end on a bit of a positive note.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 had a bit of a... It says it's a gameplay trailer, but honestly, you see more cutscene than gameplay.
Yes.
It looks good. I'm looking forward to it.
It does. They've got some big shoes to fill with what they did with Otto last time. I'm looking forward to the Sony Marvel take on characters that have been underutilized so far.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with Kraven the fucking Hunter.
Oh, yeah.
That being said, what little we saw of him, I approve so far. That looks and acts like Kraven.
Yeah. It's possible Lizard could be literally just the new Otto, but that would just feel like the same thing again.
Here's the thing, is the Lizard can't be the new Otto because the Lizard has always had the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Wait, did I get that right around?
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde vibe in that Doc Connors is a saint amongst humans, and usually he loses any trace of humanity once he goes into lizard mode. Depending on the writer, sometimes you got a bit of an Incredible Hulk thing going on where, like, he's in there somewhere, but he's hard to get to.
True enough.
But yeah, the reason why this trailer gives me some hope, and I even mentioned it last night when it got posted in a group chat, is Peter is aggressive.
He is.
He's angry. And by the way, if you've not seen the trailer, he's got the black suit on. And there's a lot of overt anger, but a moment I picked up on, which was a fucking nice little touch, kudos to whoever said, no, he should do this, is Pete saved someone last minute, and instead of putting them on the ground gently, he just shoved them.
Yeah.
Which, again, Peter Parker, and by extension Spider-Man, is the nicest guy in the universe.
Usually.
Yeah, so him doing that is so out of character. And again, they didn't need to do that because it's so weird hearing him be angry, the voice actor now.
Yeah.
He never loses his shit. And he's just almost constantly on the verge of shouting. And again, another nice detail is Miles sounds scared of him.
Yeah, so I never played the Miles DLC.
Peter's not in it, really. The reason why you play as Miles is Peter's fucked off to Europe.
Yeah.
So you don't really get to see too much interaction apart from on the training missions where it's a hologram of Peter and it's all goofy, but ayo.
Yeah, I think I played the opening mission where Peter gets, like, knocked the fuck out, I was like, oh shit, he's dead. And yeah, no, he's not dead.
Yeah, Miles is uniquely equipped to battle Rhino in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate they did make Miles work a lot different to Peter in the Miles DLC. And you're right, it should have been DLC. I felt ripped off by the time I finished that game. Not because it was a bad game, but I got to the end and I went, that was it?
Yep.
Anyway, as we alluded to, / outright said, we're watching Return of the Jedi today. It's available on Disney Plus, because of course it is. And yeah, the rest of the spiel Rick can give you.
Yep, it's Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Am I close?
Yeah, more or less. It always blew my mind that the 20th Century Fox opening was always just part of the soundtrack.
Was
like,
it?
if you get a Star Wars soundtrack, it's pretty much always like track 1.
Fair enough. You got to bear in mind, I've got a mixed history with soundtracks, because one of the soundtracks I bought back in the day was the I've brought this up on the podcast before, the Beyblade soundtrack, which included great legendary Beyblade songs such as This Is How You Remind Me by Nickelback.
Are we doing alternative paragraphs?
Oh, we can read it if you want. You go first.
Luke Skywalker has returned to his home planet of Tatooine in an attempt to rescue his friend Han Solo from the clutches of the vile gangster Jabba the Hutt.
Little does Luke know that the Galactic Empire, in all caps, has secretly begun construction on a new armoured space station, even more powerful than the first dreaded Death Star.
Gonna give it a bit of time to...
oh yeah, otherwise you won't be able to read it.
A bit.
Otherwise you'll be like...
When completed, this ultimate weapon will spell certain doom for the small band of rebels struggling to restore freedom for the galaxy. Ellipsis.
And once again, how bad would Star Wars be if they didn't have John Williams giving it his all?
Oh, yeah. Like, even another good composer just wouldn't do it justice. Like Star Wars with Danny Elfman, I'm sure it would be fun, but it wouldn't be epic.
Now, I will say this, I do think the look of the second Death Star looks cooler while in pre-construction, because it's not just a fucking sphere.
Yeah. Like, it's difficult to get a good model of it.
No, it's not. Because I have one.
What I mean is, it's difficult for a model of it to be good. Is what I mean.
Go on.
Like, yes, you can get models of it, but like, for a model to be good, it's going to have to be like really intricate in multiple layers.
Okay, cool. I bought the Bandai one that I had to assemble. It looks fucking great. I need to paint it, which is probably going to be its downfall, because it's... At the moment, it's a light grey, because that's how plastic be. I've got to change it so it's a dark grey, but I'm really worried about fucking it up.
Sure.
Man, these classic sounds, sorry.
I mean, I think the best you can do is just dark grey and then dry brush light grey again.
Yeah, and I'd probably give a layer of black ink as well to make it even darker.
Yeah.
Especially in the parts that are mid-construction.
Mm-hmm. Man, look at all these Aryans in the Empire.
I mean, once again, anyone who says Star Wars has never been political clearly never watched the original trilogy.
Yeah, because they're all white people, and generally they're all British.
Like wasn't quite a fair chunk of it filmed in Britain?
Yeah, and that was their way of getting round the minimum number of British actors for filming at Pinewood.
Right, okay.
They just cast them all as villains.
That's fine. Hey, guess what? Like, granted, you and I haven't got the perfect examples of textbook British accents, at least as far as Yanks are aware. But the upper class, posh fucking British accents is just made for villains. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's one of those circular arguments where, a bit like
Long John Silver. Like, because the first Long John Silver was a West Country dude, people expect West Country accents for pirates.
I guess. But I'm just saying, man. Like, there's a reason why Darth Vader doesn't sound like fucking Prowse.
Yeah. Or even your father. They must have hidden the plans in the escape pod.
Listen, he wasn't that broad. I know you're doing it for yucks, but like, if you've heard the guy talk, he's not quite that fucking, you know.
Yeah. Hey, back to Tatooine.
Is it just me, or does this look a lot more like just regular dirt rather than sand?
It is dirt. It looks more muddy than sandy.
Yeah, it looks like they filmed it in a pit rather than actually on a sandy place. Like in episode 4, Tatooine looked like it was fine sand rather than coarse.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna moan a bit about what happened yesterday, but I was at the butcher's, and there was a salesman trying to sell something to the butcher.
What?
And I had to ask the salesman to skip ahead multiple times, because he kept reiterating the same shit. And this is basically what Darth Vader just did in the previous scene, of skip with the pleasantries, just tell me what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You took a plinky.
McClunky. R2-D2 just backed up and said in his language, "Oi, get fucked." I love that. Because it's something you get in pretty much every fucking language, in that you don't know what the fuck's being said, but then they'll say someone's name.
Yeah. They do it in Bradford all the time. It's Umbilia Tutununi Pata Patichata Dishwasher side of the road. And it's not even people's names, it's quicker to say the thing in English than it is to say it in whatever language they're talking in.
Yeah, there was I can't remember if she was Indian or Pakistani, but one of the two, comedian who had that joke on the Comedy Roadshow. And it's just like, speaking in language I'm not going to try to replicate because I don't know it, person in red hat. And then they like freeze up because they go, oh fuck, I said that bit in English and now they know we're talking about them. Oh, Bib Fortuna before he got fat.
Yeah. He's already got the double chin.
I mean, to be fair, like, he is a fairly valued subject of Jabba the Hutt for some fucking reason.
Yeah. He's his major domo. As opposed to the other major domo who we meet, who is a piece of shit.
I would not want Bib Fortuna to touch me in any way.
Yeah, even if I had no nerve endings. So, in the novels, Twi'leks have an apostrophe, and the reason that Bib Fortuna doesn't is because he's, like, disgraced from Twi'lek society for being Bib Fortuna.
Oh, you meant in their names rather than the actual... Because I was going to say Twi'leks, yeah, they've always had apostrophe in the word Twi'lek.
Yeah, so, like, the normal names have apostrophes. And so when they're talking to somebody, they will pronounce it as if they put an apostrophe in your name somewhere.
Okay.
So instead of Wedge Antilles, it comes Wedge Antilles.
Fair enough. Man, I think this might have been my first ever exposure to hookers. Hookah, as in, you know, the thing you smoke, not hookers as in prostitutes.
Yes.
Are we going to get
those as well?
Are we going to get the version of this with the Wimmy Wham Vazzle?
I think so.
The Wimmy Wham Wham with the Wimmy Wham.
The monkey.
Oh, fucking! That creature is horrifying.
Yes, I rather wouldn't, but you know, we got the special editions and we had to abide by what George did.
Stop fucking with him, George.
/leave it alone, George.
This is our first glimpse of Luke actually being a badass.
Yeah, he's taken control of his destiny, and
he ain't a simple farm boy no more.
Yeah, he's calling himself a Jedi Knight despite not having been knighted.
Well, he's the only one who's going to stop him. Well, okay, sorry. I'll correct myself. He's the only one currently as of 1982 or whenever the fuck this film came out.
Yeah. Yoda's still kicking about, but he ain't kicking very much.
Fuck, you're right. Yoda doesn't die until halfway through the film.
Yeah. And also, Ahsoka's kicking about, but we don't know that.
Yeah, don't.
Because, 1982.
Look, again, pretty much everything, whenever there's a new source of media that comes out for Star Wars, it's like, here's this other Jedi that survived the Purge that you never fucking heard about till now.
Yeah.
I bet George was just happy to get the fucking puppet for Jabba to work.
Yeah. I don't know how much of it is puppet and how much of it is person.
The head is puppet.
Yeah, obviously the head is puppet, but it could very well easily be operated manually by a person in there rather than on long arms.
Oh yeah, no, I assume it's like the Sweetums Muppet where it's just a dude in there.
Yeah,
but a big dude.
Or two dudes, or even three.
By the way, dick move on Luke here for not at least warning C-3PO what the plan was. But at the same time, it is C-3PO, and he's really easily susceptible to torture.
Yes, despite having no nerve endings.
C-3PO is a certified pussy.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And R2-D2 don't give no fucks. He'll throw hands with a wampa.
I still keep getting reminded of that one episode of The Simpsons where they've got the robot wrestling match. The mighty robots of Battlestar Galactica versus the gay robots from Star Wars.
I fully believe that C-3PO is gay. I don't think R2-D2 is.
Yeah, I think that's what causes most of Creepio's frustrations.
I still think one of the legendary... It shattered my childhood, but it's still a legendary photo. And that is the photo of... it's 700 degrees where they fucking shot this in episode 4. And you just got fucking Kenny Baker with the fucking helmet, the fucking top bit off, the dome. Leaning on the side, drenched in sweat while smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, that's pretty badass.
It is, yeah. It messed with me that this guy's got a jaw, but none of the other droids do.
Yeah, because he needs to talk.
Yeah, but even Creepio talks.
Yeah, I know, but he needs to talk.
Yeah, fair enough.
Man, Twi'lek dancing is quite erotic.
Yeah, green-skinned alien space babe.
No joke, Asari's were just based on Twi'leks.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, we are getting it!
Yeah. I think it's the Max Rebo band or something.
I thought it was the Kumquats or Jizz Whalers or something.
Oh, no, the Jizz Whalers was from the first film.
Oh.
Where it's just all of the, where they're all Biff, I believe.
Hey, it's our first sight of Boba since episode 5.
Yeah.
Alright, listen, you got to pick a member of the band, not counting the backing singers, they're actually alright. Which one you got gonna fuck?
Well, it's basically... I mean, does the lady who's meant to be looking to have 6 tits count?
Nah.
I think she's just a dancer.
Fair fucks to this Twi'lek for trying, but we all know how it ends.
Yeah. Dude, the first time I saw that, I thought that she'd been shrunk down, because the next thing he does is he eats something. And I thought he'd just eaten her.
Ooh. Well, to be fair, give it 5 seconds and that's more or less what happens.
Yeah, she gets et, but
I've not watched this in a while. Have they replaced the Rancor with a CG at this point? I'm glad they didn't show it, but that scream is horrible.
I think they do have CG bits. So yeah, here's the bit where I thought she'd been shrunk down and sent back up to him, and then he just eats that.
I can kind of see what you mean.
Because I was 9. So, my sense of continuity was...
Boy, how quickly we devolve into Vor.
Man, I mean, it shows up in this one more than any other, because you got Jabba doing the Vor, and you got the Sarlacc doing the Vor, compared to only the fleshy love tunnel in Empire.
I don't remember Chewie looking so fucked up.
Well, he's not got any shampoo and conditioner on Tatooine, has he?
Well, I assume they purposefully made him look rough.
Yeah.
There's Boba just looking at Jabba going, yeah, I'm gonna fuck these two sluts that are flanking me.
Man, Leia looks so tiny in the Bouche costume.
Well, she is next to Chewie.
Yeah.
Like, who the actor for was damn near 7 foot tall.
Yeah. Yeah, Boba's having some.
Yeah, it's not. You're not going to keep translators for very long if you smack them for translating for you.
Yeah, literally shooting the messenger.
Because they have a thermal detonator! Fucking shout out to Boba, the only one with the common sense to fucking pull out a blaster.
Yeah.
And also having the fucking foresight to not immediately shoot just in case Jabba likes it.
Mm-hmm. I've not got subtitles on this time.
Same.
But normally you get, when you got subtitles on, you get the full subtitles for what Jabba's saying.
No, you don't. You get speaks in Huttese.
Okay. He agrees!
Man, that creature that looks like a pile of nutsacks is also horrifying.
What, the elephant dude?
No, the guy behind him on the right.
Oh, okay.
They might not show him again, but you'll know who I mean. No, not ball bags. He looks like a pile of foreskins. Which is a great thing to say as we're showing Lando.
No, yeah, we're not insinuating that Lando looks like foreskins.
Chewie just hits his head all the time.
Yeah.
Man, I can't remember the comic series, but there is a comic where Chewbacca goes out in the most badass way possible. In that they have to drop a fucking moon on him.
Oh, it wasn't even the comics. It was the opening book of the Yuuzhan Vong War.
Okay, well, they did it in the comics as well.
Okay, they did a comic version of it, so sure. That book was written by R.A. Salvatore, who is well known for the Drizzt novels in D&D.
Oh, also known as ruining D&D.
Well, okay, yeah.
Because he made a character too cool to live up to.
Yes, everyone wanted to play a Drizzt.
Everybody wants to play Drizzt, and hey, guess what? If even one person in the party wants to be a Drizzt, like, it fucking makes the game suck.
Yeah. The annoying thing was, I didn't even know about this, and I made something like that unknowingly, and the DM just rolled his eyes and sighed. I'm like, what did I do?
To be fair, not everyone is going to have heard of Drizzt. But, like, it's just... Think of everything that makes an edgelord, and that's Drizzt, except the personality.
Yeah, like, he's all about fighting for his friends and all that, you know. The stuff that you don't expect a drow to be, because that's the whole point of Drizzt. He's like an anti-drow.
Yeah. Drizzt is like he's like a high elf, but without being all pissy and shit.
Yeah.
Also, he's got a panther.
He does.
Like, they just gave him everything to make him appeal to every 14-year-old's nerd boner. All nerd lady boner, I don't fucking distinguish between the two.
tingly nethers. Gender-neutral tingly nethers.
Sure. I remember South Park coined the phrase Chinese tickle for
No, it's my giny tingles.
No, Chinese tickle.
Okay.
For specifically a lady spasm. Pretty much entirely because they didn't want to have Mickey Mouse saying that the Jonas Brothers exist just to give little girls jizzes. There's no delicate way to phrase that. It's just gross, and I know that. Fuck, Leia's hot.
Yeah.
And do you know what makes her the most attractive in this film? Apart from the fact she's played by Carrie Fisher.
Well, there's also the metal bikini, but that's coming up.
Listen, controversial opinion, I don't think that's what makes her attractive. I think what makes her attractive is the fact she's a legit badass in this film.
Yeah. Like, the whole reason that they get to reverse the roles of the I love you, I know later on is because Leia's being a badass.
Yeah.
She's been shot by like an ATST and she's still got a pistol ready to throw hands.
Yeah. And the thing that a lot of people will forget is when this first came out, she was still firmly in princess category. That kind of changed with this film, and they kind of fucked up a little bit by making her all badass in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series when she was 10, because in episode 4 she is shit.
Yeah, she's gone back to being very much a diplomat who happens to be a bit of a spoiled princess, but also is starting to lean into becoming an actual rebel leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, by the time you get to episode 4, yeah, she's got principles that she's willing to die for. But she still treats people beneath her as beneath her.
Yeah. I like, by the way, how Han could tell it was Chewie by a single grunt.
Well, he can speak Wookiee.
No, I know, but he can't see anything. The only thing he's got is hearing. A single grunt. It didn't sound like he was trying a word. It sounded like Chewie was literally just making a sound.
But it might have been his name in Shiriwook.
It definitely wasn't.
Nah.
Like, here's one thing as well, is a lot of people want to give George a lot of credit retroactively. George had an overarching plan in his brain. I'm not debating that. But a lot of minute details you find cropping up were happy accidents.
Oh, totally. And that's something you can only really get with practical effects. You can't plot accidents like that in CGI.
What accident are you talking about?
Well, just in general, just one, for instance, of a stormtrooper banging head on ceiling, or Han running into the stormtrooper Death Star briefing room in A New Hope. Those are the big ones I can think of.
Another case of adding 3D CG for no fucking reason.
Yeah, just for like 2 seconds. This cost $1 million for 2 seconds. Here you go. I love how the Jedi mind trick is all about making it feel like it's your own idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I won't deny that Leia... I think Carrie Fisher / Leia looks great in the gold bikini.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone else does.
Oh yeah, when just like someone puts the bikini on for bedtime fun.
Well, you know, like you get loads of people do it because it's a good go-to thing to get nerds horny. But I just this just sounds so fucking stupid and maybe a bit incelly. Please be the judge on that and tell me off otherwise. I think it's special when in this scene.
She put a lot of work into getting into shape for this as well. Like she was attractive before, but she put a lot of work slimming down for the bikini.
Did she? I thought she just did a ton of blow.
I mean, okay. Combination of both.
Okay. But yeah, I will tell you this. I still cringe watching that Graham Norton clip of Carrie Fisher saying that she had a teenager come up to her, well, not a teenager, like 20-year-old in a shoe shop come up to her and say, between the ages of 12 to fucking 18, twice a day, you in that bikini. Ugh.
Yep.
The nerve of women being sexy in cinema.
And then there's the other one of when her daughter was growing up at school.
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't know this one, so I'm good with not hearing it.
No, it's just...
No, I don't want to know.
Okay.
I told you I don't want to know, so why would you tease it?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like the Rancor is still practical from the claws.
Yeah, right now it's practical. I think they added in some new scenes where it's CGI as well.
At the moment, it still looks like what I remember.
Yeah.
How much did the Rancor scare the fuck out of you in the VR?
Quite a lot, but mostly when his arm bursts through a wall when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, so it scared the fuck out of me the first time I saw it because it blended in with the cave so well, and then it suddenly moved, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's a Rancor! Yeah. Why is a Rancor on Mustafar?
Yep.
Don't forget, canonically, this creature doesn't actually die.
Yeah. Apparently Rancors are like cats, in that they do have an indigenous home world, but they get transported around the world so much that they just become like an invasive species on multiple planets.
Yeah, but Mustafar, a lava planet that has only got one use, and that is mining something that we're never fully told in the films.
Yeah. Apparently the events of Vader Immortal are what let Mustafar start to regenerate to the point that when you see it in the sequel trilogy, it doesn't look like Mustafar anymore.
Okay. I just assumed the Immortal stuff was not canon.
I think they retroactively made it canon just to explain that one particular thing. Because the artifact in question in Immortal is so bullshit strong that it can't possibly be real. However, similar things have happened in Rebels and Clone Wars already, so...
Sure. Interestingly...
one of the guys to let him out.
Interestingly enough, in the Star Wars Phantom Menace PS1 game, you have to meet Jabba the Hutt to get local currency for some fucking stupid reason. I forget. And you play as Qui-Gon. Yes. And he has a different monster in his basement that he says, I'll give you the thing you want if you kill this monster for me. And it's like a giant, it's like a Rancor, except with a few differences, like a turtle shell, and it can shoot spikes.
Okay. Yeah, the Rancor with the serial numbers filed off.
Yeah. Which is weird, because it's an official Star Wars game, they didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
I do like the detail of the trainer/handler breaking into tears.
Yeah, because this is the baby that he's raised. We don't know at this point that Rancors are, in any way intelligent.
Oh, and his mate's like, oh, we'll get you another one.
Yeah, because that guy's now out of a job. Oh, Han's got a nice press shirt now.
I'll give Harrison Ford some credit. He does a really good job of acting like he can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Hey, good old Salacious Crumb.
He didn't need a name.
Yeah.
You're gonna get in his belly welly. I'm sorry, I heard Dusty Rhodes say it once and I can't not do it. Like, bear in mind, an entire criminal empire gets dismantled by Luke just because Jabba wouldn't accept money.
Yeah. Or droids.
Well, they were never going to leave the droids there forever.
Some of the banthas are real, but the scene with all the banthas, I believe, is added.
Well, look at the skiffs. They don't look fucking like practical effect. That's CG.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think the fucking band is like when they're on these barges? They're like, man, we're going to perform as a sideshow to this death pit. It's a fucking gig, man. What do you want?
Yeah.
I do think my favourite episodes, granted I've not seen season 2 yet of Visions, was just, by the way, here's Jabba's kid and he's being captured by Boba Fett because he wants to play in a band.
Yeah. And he's got like his like emo hut hair as well.
It's so fucking dumb, but I love it. That's what Visions was made for.
Yeah. Similarly, I've not watched all of it, but I have watched quite a bit of it, and the one that I've not watched because I want to kind of, pay full attention is the bunny one.
Yeah, there's a lot of porn of that.
Yeah.
And I've not seen the episode in question, but I know it exists because a lot of people... It crops up a lot on my Reddit feed. Also, Plague of Gripes recently drew a character, and he only draws characters that are... Yeah, you know what Plague of Gripes is. You know his deal.
He draws good-looking characters.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And he makes the characters that he draws look good.
I still think his Pokemon animation's the best.
Yeah.
You think this is just popular because of Smogon? Man, credit to Lando for playing the fucking long con with this as well.
Was dressing up as one of the guards.
That Sarlacc that down the bottom in that shot particularly looked like it was CG, but it might not have been.
If it's got the beak, it's CG. If it doesn't, it's not.
It had the beak.
Yeah.
C-3PO's just like, I'm not going to do that. I will give Family Guy credit that I did actually find the joke really funny when they got to part 3 and it just took like 3 minutes.
Of tubers going from person to person.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bit.
Yeah, I found it... I shouldn't have found it as funny as I did, because it was a bit long in the tooth, but I thought it was a good joke. The first time. Watching it back, it's annoying.
Yep.
Because that's all I'm seeing right now as I'm hearing the beats.
Yep. Like low droning. Oh, yeah, the main theme kicks in.
Yeah! Like, at least 5 dudes could have tried to shoot him while he had his hand up. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I don't even know if Luke even has his own theme tune because, like, oh yeah, there's a Wilhelm. Like, I don't even know if Luke even has his own theme tune because the main theme just seems to serve the purpose.
Yeah. You could give him the Rescue Hallway fucking theme because that's a good piece of music.
Yeah. Like, until the prequels, the Force theme was Obi-Wan's theme.
True. Man, just as a bit of, like, granted, they didn't know at the time and we didn't know at the time, but Boba Fett really should have been better at fighting a Jedi than that.
Yeah, totally. Oh, he's got his mythosaur on his shoulder already.
At the time, it was just generic,
like, the thing that looks cool. Yeah. It's only later that it got named.
Yeah, and there's the fucking, there's the big gag of, like, Boba Fett's such a cool character that the franchise adores, and all the lines that he got in the original trilogy, he got 3 lines, and one of them was, ah!
Yep. In the book, apparently, he says, "Get out of my way, you blind fool."
Which is interesting, isn't it? Because, you know, you don't think he'd give a fuck about Han that much. Why was that one dude just wearing a gold shirt? Look at it. You see him in the background when Luke swings his swingy swing. Did I mean to say that? Swingy swing? Lightsaber.
Yeah.
Man, Jabba went out like a punk bitch, and rightly so.
Yeah, the expanded universe goes into detail saying, oh yeah, that was Leia calling on the Force because there's no way that a normal person will be able to
You didn't need
strangle someone that fat.
You didn't need that.
Nah, you didn't.
I mean, yeah, sure, like, they show it a bit in the most bullshit way in the sequel trilogy that Leia's Force sensitive, but she doesn't need to subconsciously call on it to kill Jabba, of all people. Jabba's a scrub. Once you're in actual Jabba relies entirely on his army.
Yes. Oh, trying to make your own Wilhelm scream.
I don't blame Lando for freaking out.
Yeah, totally.
Are we still getting the fucking spin-off series or spin-off film with Donnie Glover?
I don't know. Probably not because Solo flopped so much.
Oh, but I really wanted it.
Because it was like, yeah, like, Solo wasn't a bad movie. It was just too close to the most recent Star Wars, and neither of them were top.
I enjoyed Solo so much.
It was fine, but it wasn't top. It wasn't Rogue One.
But here's the thing is, I kind of didn't like Rogue One.
Sure.
I didn't dislike it, but I've never watched that film again, and I don't feel like I've missed out. And that being said, though, Andor was fucking killer.
Yeah.
Okay, when you see it from the back, I really like it, but that's just because she's basically not wearing anything from the back.
Yeah, it's just like jeweler's chain, which is meant to be as thin as possible.
How many times has this happened to R2 in his lifetime?
I like how there's the specific attachments for getting things out of the sand like that.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to get near the Sarlacc, do you?
No. But it only works on droids and metal things. I mean, yeah, I suppose it would just be for cargo, but yeah.
Well, yeah,
it wouldn't work on people.
Well, it could work on people though, couldn't it? Because you just stand on the extended bit.
Yeah, fair enough. And if you're a person, you wouldn't survive getting buried in the sand like that.
No. You know what? It actually takes a lot for Han to say thank you overtly.
It does. It does.
Now we get to see fucking Yoda snuff it. Oh, right, in case you guys forgot, and we're wondering... we're wondering if they remembered...
got cut off, and they just leave him with the glove on for the rest of the movie now.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
But then again, oh god, again, I'm going to reference Mandalorian, the rescue scene, when you see that one gloved hand, that's when I was actually, my heart was going, it's got to be Luke, it's got to be Luke, it's got to be Luke. Because until that point, I thought, fuck, it might be Cal.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Which wouldn't have been the worst, but it ain't Luke.
No. Although it did get hopes up high for when Luke came back later, and then it was crushed by the fact that it was AI voice Luke.
I'm not too bothered about that.
It just lacked so much emotion that, like, actual Mark Hamill could have put into it.
Yeah, but they didn't want to pay him or something, I don't know. But surely they got to pay him anyway, because they're using his fucking face.
Yeah. Man, how much younger is Ian McDiarmid in this?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's like the Christopher Lloyd treatment of, like, young person made up to look older.
Sure. Yeah, because, by the by, one Sheev Palpatine does not look this fucked up. Ever, in real life.
No.
Like, fuck me, man, this was 50 years ago. 40 years ago.
It was. Yeah, he managed to not crash it this time.
I was going to say, he's been here enough times to not fuck up a ship.
Once. Like, if you go by Shadows of the Empire being the actual story between the two movies, he never comes back to Dagobah in between.
Yeah, but that shit's not canon.
True enough. But I don't think it actually contradicts anything in Disney canon anyway.
Doesn't magically make it canon, no.
True enough.
Waka waka.
I find it weird how he's like able to just walk around at this point, and yet he's still just getting ready to die in like 5 minutes.
Well, because he doesn't technically die, he becomes one with the Force, and I've always felt like there's a distinction between the two.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'd say makes it feel like he's dying is that he's struggling so much to say his last couple of words.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he could tough it out for like a year or two if he wanted to, and he chose to go. Kind of like how Obi-Wan, you don't actually see him get cut in twain by Darth Vader, he just vanishes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as we know, like Qui-Gon, there was still a body, because he actually died.
Yeah. And he still could become a Force ghost.
Yeah, because I think they're two different things. I think once you pass on, if your connection to the Force is strong enough, you can, you become one with it and you're good. But there's also the thing that you can just choose to become one with the Force at any time once you've got a big enough connection, and that's what people choose to do instead of passing on naturally. That's always been my take. I could also be talking mad shit.
Yeah. And it's also possible that Obi-Wan is the first one to do it in quite some time.
Yeah, because usually Jedi get fucked up by Inquisitors.
Yeah. Or they just keep rolling nat ones and they just die to like normal.
Well, yeah, sure. If you have to fucking give it a D&D analogy.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I've said it once. I'll say it 100 times until I'm blue in the face. I'm so sick of people going, XYZ Media is basically a game of D&D. Yeah, because D&D's just a story, but with a group of people telling it.
Yeah.
You fucking idiots.
And each person has their own hopes and dreams. Like, even if they're not good at playing their character, then, they still have different views and are a different person.
It's like, guys, Pirates of the Caribbean is just D&D, but with really bad roles.
The one that I did like was Guardians of the Galaxy as
no, that's stupid.
Being played by the Avengers.
It's stupid. It's all stupid.
So I didn't notice how clawy Yoda's hands were in Empire, but he's just pointed here, and they're obviously very clawy, which is good for when he needs to use them to try and grab on during Revenge of the Sith. Doesn't mean that they weren't clawy, it's just that I didn't notice them.
Yeah. Well, I do remember, because it gets fucking spouted in every interview ever, and there was a phase when I was really into Star Wars lore, but not enough to read books. So you'd watch the DVD, so you'd watch all these fucking extra DVD fucking bullshit that came with new releases, and the one they kept showing with glee is how Yoda originally was going to be a 9-foot giant.
Yeah.
And then Frank Oz just came in after spending a week in his shed and made the Yoda puppet and was like, I think we should do this.
Yeah.
To which George said, why have you brought us a puppet of you? Bit of a dick thing to say, but funny.
It's great though. And man, the amount that his like forehead moves, it's clearly one of the best puppets that they have.
Well, don't forget, it's Frank Oz.
Yeah.
Like, Frank Oz has worked with Jim Henson since Jim Henson existed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those. I will say, one of the fun things about watching something like Return of the Jedi, which we've both watched to death, is we can just talk mad shit and go on tangents and not miss a thing.
Yeah, we just missed there is another Skywalker, and that's about it.
Yeah. Search your feelings, Luke. You know it's Leia, and you should not have had that handy.
The other thing we missed was just Yoda just going, "Your father, he is."
You see, what I said was true from a certain point of view.
Which then got bullshat in the Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, see, look, there you go. He didn't die. He became one with the Force. See, didn't leave the body behind.
Yeah, but also, well, okay, but when Obi-Wan became one of the Force, it was because he was getting cut in half by a lightsaber, or as far as it looked like.
Yeah, but you know, again, I know what I mean. It's kind of George going fucky wucky by showing us Qui-Gon's body, basically.
Yeah. Just so they could have a funeral, so
Two more there always
Palpatine
are.
Yeah. So Palpatine could perv over Anakin.
God damn, I love how Alec Guinness gave it his all for this role, even though he fucking hated it.
Oh, he hated it so much.
It's weird, because you see interviews with him where he actually clarifies that he doesn't hate Star Wars, he just didn't like acting in them. Sorry, I tell a lie. He didn't like the fact that that's all people fucking know him for.
Yeah.
Like, he was in Lawrence of Arabia, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
And Bridge Over the River Kwai. Both films we should... Well, maybe not Lawrence of Arabia, because that's 3 fucking hours. But... I have to turn it up, because Alec is speaking so quietly.
He is.
Hey, Rick, I don't know if you wanted to know, but a friend of ours is playing Satisfactory. Because I forgot to put Steam on offline.
My Steam isn't even launched right now.
He learned that 10 years ago. Dude, I want to give props again to Ewan McGregor, because he sounded so fucking broken when he fucking... at the end of that fight.
Yeah. Well, he played Obi-Wan as so broken, like, for most of the series, and then, like, he had his back moment in the last episode.
I do like the... Well, he connected to the doctor real quick. I do like the Robot Chicken parody of this, where it's like, listen, I can't be dealing with your fucking mystifying bullshit right now. I've got a real shot with Leia, and I need to know for 100% fact that she's my sister, otherwise I'm smashing that. And Obi-Wan just goes like, oh, fuck, yeah, no, dude, she's your sister, don't do that.
I do like how all the Rebel ships are like different ships from different cultures. And it very much does look like everything's cobbled together, to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because Han Solo works really a lot with the Rebels a lot, but he never actually joins technically.
They do call him General in Empire, don't they?
I don't think so, because he's getting ready to piss off to pay Jabba. Don't forget, and then he gets his money to pay off Jabba finally, and then he's about to fuck off, and then the Empire attacks, and then he gets roped into a whole nother adventure, and then the Carbonite shit happens. That's why when he's telling Jabba, I was on my way to pay you, he wasn't technically lying.
Yeah, he just got waylaid for a year and a half.
Yeah, a fucking long time.
Oh yeah, here's the one. He calls him Captain because he's still Captain of the Falcon, rather than a captain as a rank within the Alliance.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we don't see a real Bothan for, like, forever.
The only time I've ever seen a Bothan is in Star Wars Battlefront, the video game.
Yeah.
And they look fucking weird.
They do a bit, yeah.
Important to note, I think George Lucas separated from his wife at this point, so she's not editing this one.
Okay. You can see the difference in CGI that they were able to do within the movie from the Rebel Alliance between this one and A New Hope.
Sure. It's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah.
Was that Wedge?
Wedge is in here somewhere, but yeah, that was...
It was a really proud-looking pilot next to Lando's co-pilot, and I think it might have been Wedge.
Yeah, it might be.
Chewie's like, bitch, I've got a life debt.
I like how Chewie puts his hand up again and basically goes, I volunteered twice, basically.
What the fuck is that guy? Did you see that guy in the background with his fucking hair and mustache?
Yeah, he did look a bit like...
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry, random extra, but you look distinctive and not for a good reason. Look at that Jedi Starfighter!
Oh, the A-Wing. Yeah, it's just an A-Wing.
Sorry, I'm getting really distracted. I don't have ADHD, but I might sound like I do when I watch Star Wars.
And this is the scene where you can't take your eyes off where Lando's badge is, because it keeps jumping around.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm gonna fucking look.
It was on the right.
There's been a cut, so... his suit also looked lighter.
Yep. And it's still on the left, and it goes back again.
Let's watch. Yep.
Yep. Back again.
Oh, fuck you, Rick. You've ruined that scene.
Are the furry dice still here? The metal dice?
They're not in the Falcon.
Oh, yeah, they're not in the Falcon here, yeah. My bad.
Just bear in mind as well, during the Death Star assault, it's been pointed out to me that Lando, just for some reason, wears Han's clothes.
Yes, he does. It's the same as in End of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, okay.
To show that he's a good guy now, Han, as well as driving his car, wears his clothes.
I do like the person who pointed out that Darth Vader must just fucking hate Han Solo, because as far as he's aware, some guy pulled up in a Chevy, shot him up, stole his daughter, and then fucked off.
Yep.
He doesn't know who Han Solo is, he just knows he's a dickhead. It will never not amuse me, the hyperspace cut.
It's a cool effect, even though it's pretty simple by, modern standards.
Yeah. It's a disaster, Skywalker we're after. Those people in the background look like they're from the same race of people as the Grand Inquisitor.
Maybe. It's cute that he calls him my friend.
Yeah, but it's just manipulation.
Yeah.
Like, he does it all the fucking time. It's gross.
Yeah, the two advisors that he had looked so much like Warhammer models.
It's an old meme itself now, but I do like it's an older meme, sir, but it checks out.
Yeah. I was about to repost it.
Don't forget, Han is a proper fucking idiot because he doesn't believe in the Force or any of that shit, despite the fact that Jedi were commonplace about 30 years ago.
And the fact that he's watched the Force being used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vader's putting out his space feelies. Can't keep anything secret from wizards.
No. Yeah, that guy's actually got quite a backstory.
Yeah. Was that Admiral Piet?
I can't remember his name, but that sounds correct. Where he was next to that guy who got choked out in the last movie.
Yeah, and he manages to make it all the way through Empire and all the way through Jedi until the Super Star Destroyer crashes.
Yeah, and it's basically that once he saw the guy get choked out beside him, he essentially decided that he was always just going to be honest with Vader, and it worked out for him.
Yes.
Because, hey, guess what? Vader ended up actually quite liking the chap.
Not try and bullshit someone who can choke you with their brain.
Oh, it's a bad idea.
Especially someone who can basically tell when you're lying.
Yeah, like, the only ever since Tarkin got fucked up, there's no one apart from Palpatine who can stop Vader. Even I'm not 100% sure why Tarkin has enough respect from Vader, I guess, that when he says to stop choking a bitch, he stops choking a bitch.
Yeah, I think he remembers being essentially a young upstart as a Sith Lord, as it were. Nobody knows who he is and nobody respects him, so he has to basically assert himself outside of the chain of command. But also the chain of command also already exists.
Yeah, but Vader as the Emperor's enforcer is literally second only to the Emperor.
Yeah.
But the only reason I bring it up is I remember in A New Hope, he chokes that dude in the command briefing and Tarkin just goes, Vader, release him. And he goes, as you wish.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that scene exists solely to make you scared of Tarkin.
Yeah, because we don't have an Emperor in that movie. We just got Tarkin and a mention of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Wilhoof Tarkin.
Fuck, you forget how strong bowcasters are.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, here's the most annoying fucking level in the fucking Lego Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, you gotta go around it like 70 times.
Oh, so many times. And this isn't okay. This time there is a reason why a reason you can say that. Did you see that shit where they literally just lifted the JPEG?
Yeah, they just went over the top of it. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Anyway, yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's the classic CGI. As in, not CGI, just old photo manipulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Where this I could believe Leia's got some subtle Force usage because it's an exact parallel for Anakin.
Yes, exactly, actually.
Whereas Luke doesn't have subtle force manipulation. He just uses the force when he flies shit.
Yep. And he has been doing for quite some time.
Yeah, he did it in fucking episode 4, man.
Yeah. And he's probably been doing it ever since he had his T-16 back home.
Yeah, shooting them wompwats.
Yeah. Man, I remember playing an arcade version of this back when video games were really shit. And it was such a good recreation of, like, the jungle speeder bike chase.
Like, I've played jockey games before where you, like, ride a horse, and I can imagine doing that, but with one of these being super fun.
Yeah.
Listen, let's just say it. These vehicles aren't a good choice for jungles.
No, they're not.
And you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off the road. It worked out for him.
Did it?
For like a second. He's got time enough to scream, but not enough to like move a little bit to the left.
Pretty sure that's a Family Guy joke as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Or to slow down or go over it, which they've shown they can do.
Yeah. Just fucking punch him in the face, you dickhead!
This is the time when you could get your pistol out and shoot him, but...
Yeah, or just raise your fist and punch him in the face. They will fall off at this speed.
Or, like, specifically for Luke, just use force pull on him?
Nah, you ain't learned that one.
Nah.
I just want to point out, in every fucking game ever, despite the movies being contradictory, a lightsaber doesn't deflect laser bolts that big.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those, like, I think that's the biggest size bolt it can deflect. Something from a starfighter is way too big.
And yet...
Yeah.
They just called him General, so I stand corrected.
Yeah, he's General now. After giving Lando shit for being a general, you know, jokingly, it then turns out that he's already accepted the general title as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a shoo-in because he's one of the few people that can paint a Death Star on the side of his ship. And Wedge is the only one that can paint two.
How's Wedge destroyed 2 Death Stars?
Because he was in both Death Star trench runs and he survived them both.
Oh, you just meant by surviving the battle rather than just... Oh, yeah, he didn't even just... Yeah, okay, fair enough. Hey, look, it's Warwick Davis.
Yeah. He never gets his name mentioned, and like you said the other day, they never get called Ewoks.
Not in the film, anyway.
No.
They might get credited as Ewoks in the credits.
Yeah.
What's his name? Flick or something?
Wicket W. Warwick.
Wicket W. Warwick. Now, bear in mind, Warwick Davis was a kid at this point.
Yeah, he was.
And...
Like, he was such an emotive kid in costume that George wrote the character for him.
Very nice. So yeah, he was a kid, and also a small kid because dwarfism.
Yeah. Just what I always wanted. A clan of teddy bears.
Doesn't she win him over by giving him a chocolate bar or some shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, white chocolate, a child's favourite.
Kendall mint cake.
I say that as a joke because chocolate snobs will say if you like white chocolate, you're a child.
Yep. Or that white chocolate isn't chocolate at all because it doesn't have any cocoa powder in it.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck. It tastes good.
Yeah, yeah, it's just cocoa solids made into chocolate shape.
Now, here's the thing that bugs me the most about this scene. Because...
He has a hat.
Yeah.
He knows what hats are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's stupid. Caca!
Spot the sniper.
Was nowhere near the Ewok and he still fell over. I respect Leia for taking her pistol out, but you're going to need some doing to get a sniper from this distance.
Not least to see them.
Well, this is future time as well, so you don't even get lens flare. So I guess stormtroopers are in take prisoners mode.
Yeah, so it would seem.
That, or they found out that she was a woman and they started to get real creepy about it.
True. It's one of those, like, there's not meant to be any non-Empire humans on Endor at all.
Yeah, so you think it would be take no prisoners?
That said, it's also incredibly useful to know exactly how many there are, so if you're going to torture someone for that information, best to capture them.
I'd take no prisoners approach.
I'd say that's going to make the other ones more likely to just go to ground more aggressively.
Hey, but guess what? If they're on here, there's only one thing they're going to be trying to do. If they go to ground, they can't do what they're trying to do.
Sure.
I'm not saying my plan's great, I'm just saying what my plan would be. And let's be honest, it lines up with the Empire's motive.
True. Do a load of murders.
You could just call it genocide, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but that is what it is.
It's not fine, but it's true.
Oh, fuck me. Is that the title of the episode, do you think? It's not fine, but it's true.
Genocide, not even once. You best not be shitting me, Darth.
Now I'm going to look at the space.
The chair didn't turn round at the right rate,
so he had to shuffle.
So every time it spins, Ian McDiarmid is just scooching under his robes.
That's so fucking funny to me.
It's mostly like on that one, it wasn't so bad because he doesn't have to match any other timings. But for when he's scooching, when he's like revealing himself to Luke, he very much does have to scooch.
Oh no. And we're almost at the halfway point, guys, so I'm just going to straight up reveal to the audience, Rick, and to you, because I imagine you're feeling something similar, and that is, we don't usually watch things this long on the podcast, and my arse is sore. Usually the reason why we do short things on the podcast is I like to stretch my legs every half an hour.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, sure, I just won't be able to... It's not like I'm using it for anything pleasurable. And here we learn that no matter how smart a Wookiee might be, they are still a Wookiee.
Yeah. Still hungry.
The thing that bugs me the most is, like, his face is right next to it and he doesn't even take a bite from it.
Yeah, he doesn't even eat the thing. R2 literally going for Occam's razor.
And you'd rather be on the ground and hurt a little bit, 3PO, than fucking stuck in a net.
Yep.
Oh no, Ewoks with no guns. That one's actually horrible looking.
It is. I always thought Wicket was a lot older than he is.
Wicket's...
Just because of...
I thought Wicket was meant to be a kid one.
Yeah, he is. He is meant to be a kid, just because of the amount of white on his face.
Oh.
We'll see him again in a bit, because he's not with this gang.
They don't respect us. We should kill them.
Poking at him again.
Like, they're so fucking harmless. Like, he was grabbing the leader's spear, and even while he was trying to jab it at him, Han had no issue just holding it away.
Yeah. And he just had the gun.
A lot of these Ewoks are gross looking.
A little bit.
Magua. 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 I think George just saw Gremlins and had a fucking idea to steal it.
Yeah, apparently when this was new, like, people didn't like the Ewoks.
Yeah, it's the Jar Jar effect.
Yeah. The new thing that's just there for kid appeal is the thing that people don't like. And then by the time the next thing comes around that's worse, they forget the old one.
Like, Jar Jar... Like, I was a kid when Star Wars came out. I fucking loved Jar Jar. I can see why adults didn't approve of it.
So does Corona, yeah.
I don't think it ever warranted bullying the fucking actor over it.
Oh, definitely not.
But, you know, people are dicks.
Corona has changed her answer over who her favourite Star Wars character is anymore. It's no longer Jar Jar, it's Boba Fett.
No one blames her. Everyone wants to fuck Tamura Morrison.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck Tamura Morrison, but I would take a respectful fist bump. Yeah, sure. Like, I respect that you're going along with these guys because you don't want to fight them, but I would refuse to be tied up.
Yeah. Especially over the cooking pot.
Yeah, they are tied up like they're ready to be fucking put over a fire.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what they do. They start trying to spit roast them.
Like, the only reason to get away with it is because Luke can make C-3PO fly.
Yeah.
I said the line!
Yep. Man, I remember having a book of Star Wars quotes.
Kill it with fire! Did you see the baby?
Yeah.
It's fucking gross! At least Jar Jar's just goofy looking, he's not gross. Sorry, you were going to say about a book.
Yeah, I had a book of Star Wars quotes, and it was just called... Oh, sorry. It was called, I'd just as soon kiss a Wookiee, but there was like an entire page of the quote being, I have a bad feeling about this, and it was just attributed to just everyone.
That's fair. Here's Leia, who we conveniently had enough managed to dress.
Which means that they've definitely eaten humans before.
Well, don't forget, at the end in the celebration scene, they're literally playing bongos in helmets. Now, yes, they could have just grabbed the helmets, but I bet you they had heads in them.
Had in the past, most likely now turned into feast.
The Ewoks...
I mean, they're not using the bodies anymore, so why not have a roast?
You shouldn't eat sentient species.
No, but it's Ewoks, so they're going to eat the stormtroopers.
I think if there is a race that should be genocided, it's the Ewoks. Oh, put that on the back of the box. Here's the thing, right? As a kid, I loved Jar Jar. As a kid, I had no love for the Ewoks. As an adult,
Yeah,
I really don't fucking like the Ewoks.
I saw them as an antagonist until they became, unlikely allies later on.
Fuck them. Am I insane? I could have sworn there was a scene before in the original where Luke said, C-3PO, say so-and-so, and I'm going to make you fly.
Yeah, I think the idea was, he goes, yeah, tell them that you'll get releases or he'll use your power. And he goes, C-3PO goes, no, that just wouldn't be proper. It's against my programming to impersonate a deity.
Oh, yeah, thanks, dickheads. I hope Kenny Baker wasn't in it for that shot.
If he was, I assume it's one of those things that was an accident that got turned into the real thing.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, R2's got the right idea. Fuck him up, boy.
Jolt him. I cast electric arc.
He doesn't shock the baby Warwick.
Nah.
I think that's baby Warwick.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. The tree houses look cool, at least.
Yeah, except at this point I've seen Kashyyyk.
Yeah. Which is mostly modelled on this, but blown up to twice the size.
Well, don't forget, originally they were going to have it on Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
And then they decided to change it because apparently Ewoks are better than Wookiees, which they fucking ain't.
No, they ain't. They could find more dwarves and pay them less than a bunch of giants.
Okay. Now, C-3PO just has these sounds in his sound bank.
Yeah, he's just got the soundboard of war. Including Darth Vader's breathing. Either that or he's beatboxing Vader.
Han's like, I'm not sure about this. I think it's the teeth. I think that's what makes me. I think that's what makes me look like them.
The ones that have got their teeth out all the time, yeah. Like, the ones that can close their mouths are a lot better looking.
Yeah, I wasn't quite immediately freaked out by Ewok Warwick.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're pleasant to look at, but the teeth push it over to, like, grotesque territory.
Yeah, like, especially that one with the...
chubby cheeks.
Sat down with the tiger stripes.
Ugh.
Chubby legs.
R2 shaking his head, just looking at Luke going like, give me permission, I'll shock every last one of these fucks.
And then Luke just does one.
If Chewie's in trouble, Chewie will just start eating them.
A delicacy, but don't you know?
Considering how Ewoks reacted to meeting both Leia and the rest of the group, that means Ewoks have more survival instincts than dodos.
Yeah.
Now this scene could easily be in Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, totally. Like, Leia being all Arwen-y.
I think Leia looks good better with her hair down.
Oh, totally. I'd say most characters who have their hair up in some way look better with it down. Like, the two I can think of straight away are Leia and Marge.
Marge is a cartoon character.
And yet it still holds true.
Yeah, but that's not fair, because she's basically got anime hair.
And it looks better when it's down.
Oh, you're gonna... Yeah, okay. Wasn't Marge the first cartoon character to ever feature in Playboy?
Maybe. Betty Boop might have done.
I don't know. Betty Boop was risque, but she wasn't around during Playboy.
I mean...
Alright, she wasn't relevant during Playboy, is what I mean.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Playboy usually chases relevancy. Like, I remember China was in Playboy. And unfortunately, that was a thing when I wasn't old enough to have access to Playboy, because I would have bought that spread because I had a thing for China. Mock me all you want. I don't care anymore. Oh, do you know how annoying it was to find China attractive in a household that would take the piss out of you for finding China attractive, so you couldn't admit it?
Yeah.
Oh. Luke's eyes look real buggy in this scene.
Yeah, he ain't blinked in a while. He still ain't blinked. He's still not blinked.
Wait for it. He's going to look up at some point and then he'll blink. There you go.
There he goes.
His eyes are getting wider. I don't like it.
He looks like an Instagram filter.
Oh, no. Now, okay, every dickhead on the internet with a keyboard, I just want to say, her saying that is not literal. So put your fucking boners away about the scene in New Hope.
Put your boners away.
Well, you know, because everyone's like, oh wait, if she always knew, then why did she give Luke a kiss in A New Hope? And it's like, that's not what she means.
Yeah, well, a kiss in Empire and
Wait, did they kiss in Empire?
Bedroom Eyes. Yeah, the kiss in Empire when Luke had just gotten back from the Wampa.
Did they? I don't remember that one.
It was either from the Wampa or from the Tauntaun. Yeah, I think it was from the Tauntaun.
The kiss I remember is just before they were meant to do the jump on the in A New Hope on the Death Star.
Okay, I don't remember that.
I think one of us is wrong.
Oh, there's definitely the one in the bed when Luke looks real proud of himself and just leans back, and Han's like, "Yeah, big bollocks right there, aren't you?"
I think that was still in A New Hope.
Enjoy your lie down. No, that was Empire Strikes Back because it was on Hoth.
Fuck it. You're gonna hear some tippy tacks. I'm googling it. How many times did Luke and Leia kiss? This is gonna fucking put me on a list.
It's okay. It's only incest.
Yeah, that's
and it's fictional.
That's still a squick for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you actually have siblings. I don't, therefore it's a foreign concept to me.
Cool. How many times does Leia kiss Luke and Han in... Oh, it does say Luke as well. Okay, there are 3 kisses for Luke in A New Hope. 1 for Luck when they cross over the Ravine Trench. 1 when Luke returns from having a successful blowing up the Death Star. And another for Luck before he leaves to attack the Death Star. They put that in wrong order. Cool. No kisses for Han in New Hope.
Yeah, no kiss for Han.
Bear in mind the conversation Luke and Han have as they escape from the Death Star. In New Hope, Luke sways Han away from thinking that Han could ever have a relationship with her, as he appears to like her himself. There are 2 kisses for Luke in Empire Strikes Back. Han and Leia are squabbling in Luke's recovery room, and to make a point... Okay, yeah. So, yeah, she kisses Luke when he's on the bed because Han's being a bastard.
Yeah, that's the one proper on the lips and makes Luke feel real proud.
Yeah, she gives Luke quite a passionate kiss, and it's one that makes Luke feel pretty happy with himself and one that makes Han jealous.
Yep.
Once Luke is safely on the Falcon after he just fought Darth Vader, Leia gives him a sweet kiss of affection as he lies in the sickbay. And then Han gets a kiss at the end, and then Return of the Jedi. No more kisses for Luke. Oh, fuck me. The Force Awakens. Han and Leia do not kiss. So why the fuck's it on the list?
Well, because it would be technically it would be the last chance for them to do so.
Yeah, but like, fuck you. That's like, it's a list of times they kissed, so why the fuck?
No kissy kissy.
Don't tell me when they didn't kiss, that's not what I googled. I need to know when lip hits lip.
Well, I'm pretty sure half of those are not lip on lip.
Well, yeah, okay. The kiss for good luck definitely ain't.
Yeah, I think the only one that is, other than... Yeah, the only ones that are in bed, and the one with Han later on.
Luke, you're a fucking idiot.
And this is where he turns it on.
You have constructed a lightsaber. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I still don't know how the fuck they got Anakin's lightsaber in 7.
Nah. They do it in the Thrawn trilogy. They recover the lightsaber, but they wanted it for the hand.
That's dumb, but I kind of get it, because Thrawn's... The Empire's all about the cloning bullshit, right?
Yeah. Thrawn's shtick in that, the two things that he does are, he finds a shit ton of dreadnoughts.
Just finds them.
Yeah, well, like, it's very secret knowledge of where they are, except the whole universe knows that they're missing.
Okay.
It's a bunch of, like, warships that went missing, like, 25 years ago.
Sure.
So he finds those and he staffs them all with clones. So it's finding the warships and creating clones, where it's two things.
Fair enough.
He does make a Luke clone.
We will call him Ekul.
No, it's Luke with 2 U's.
My idea was better.
Yeah. Ekul. Yeah, Adam Starkiller, or Space Strider, or whatever.
One of my favourite things is Mark Hamill showing up on a German talk show in the stupidest fucking outfit ever. And the internet rumours of people like, oh, that's originally what Luke was meant to be wearing in whatever Star Wars film was relevant at the time. And Mark Hamill dispelled the rumours that actually what happened is he turned up at the German station and they asked him to wear it and he didn't have the heart to say no. So he just wore a stupid fucking outfit for the interview. Which, in my opinion, is quite sweet.
It is a bit, yeah. Getting into a heavily guarded place is one thing. Getting back out of it is quite something else entirely.
Yeah, I like Han and Chewie, but pretty much every single rogue introduced in Star Wars after Han and Chewie is a better rogue.
Yeah. Dramatic music for Zero Threat.
Yeah, but you like spaceship porn.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, this Lando doesn't turn into Han Solo for this one.
Yeah, it's just the end of Empire Strikes Back, I believe. Yeah, the B-Wings are new. But it bugs me that they're called B-Wings because they don't actually look like the letter B at all.
Yeah, but isn't the deal that they're not actually called that because of the shape, they're called that because of when they got released or some shit?
Well, the X-Wings and Y-Wings and even the A-Wings look like the thing that they're named after.
But did you not...
The B-Wing is the one that doesn't.
But did you not consider this? George just changed his mind about the naming convention.
Yeah. ABXY. Oh, it's all the buttons on a fucking SNES controller.
Well, there you go. It was all motivated by the SNES.
No, the SNES was motivated by Star Wars. 10 years in the future.
Wasn't the regular Nintendo out, though?
Yeah, but it only had 2 buttons.
That's good enough. Nagu, isn't that a type of pasta?
Ragu is a type of pasta sauce.
I'm taking the piss, Rick. I'm not being serious.
Get him some cream if he's that rash. This is just like a raccoon nicking your car.
It is, but I'd find that more entertaining. Hey, say what you want. The plan worked somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how shiny C-3PO is. Depends on how shiny he needs to be for the scene.
Yeah. And like the one time he's at his shiniest is like after he's had an oil bath at Luke's house in A New Hope.
Yeah. Also, you probably won't see it in most recent editions, but back in the day, you used to be able to see camera crew all the time reflected in C-3PO. You know that one old guy with a white beard seen some shit?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and I'm assuming that's one of the rebel troopers putting the stormtrooper outfit on. Oh, sorry, scout trooper.
Maybe?
Because that's something I never caught, actually, before. So that's the first time I've seen someone fixing up a scout trooper uniform and then standing outside the doorway.
Might have just been the actor was uncomfortable. But yeah, it would be rather stupid of that to happen.
Well, it would also be stupid of them to, put the existing scout trooper back on guard.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Man, I do like the look of the Royal Guards, though. I know they're called Praetorian Guards in future iterations, but they're Royal Guards. Fuck you.
Yeah, the Emperor's Royal Guard.
But you don't see red very often.
You don't.
And you fucking ruined this for me, because I'm just looking at the fucker's feet.
Scooch, 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 scooch. He knew the pin number to his own manacles.
Yes, you won't get a fight scene until at least 2 films.
Yeah, episode 8, I think they've got the big old fight scene.
Which is really poorly choreographed.
Yeah, like the bit where one of them's going for a killing blow and either Rey or Kylo Ren just misses the block, so he has to do a really obvious spin to not hit.
Like, it's not that expensive, just fucking reshoot it. Fuck-ups happen.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming the actors, I'm blaming the fucking director.
Yeah.
Fucking, even I listen to this shit back when I edit it, and I don't get paid. I like how Darth Vader, despite not being able to see his face, you can quite clearly see his facial features being like, what the fuck's the point of this?
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell if that's a rotten tooth or a gold tooth that he's got right at the front there.
It's meant to be rotten. The idea is to just put a little licorice in his mouth to make it look like his teeth were way shittier than they are.
Is that really the trick they use?
Yeah, licorice and boot polish.
Damn, but fuck boot polish. I'm looking at his feet. And I need to cough. Sorry about that, audience. Even back then, big old Palpatine was thinking 5 moves ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But not Dark Troopers because they don't exist yet.
Oh, he does blink.
It must have been so uncomfortable in that fucking makeup.
Yeah, especially with the contacts on and everything. Man, I saw a post about someone putting a wig on for the first time, and getting one made, and turning from this basically a middle-aged Mr. Burns into some new hip and trendy young guy.
Okay.
And half the comments were like, "How does this kind of wig actually feel though? And how often do you need to change it?" And the first guy was like, "Oh yeah, a lot of people go through stages of grief with going bald. And yeah, it's going to cost a few $100 a month just to get this kind of wig and care."
I mean...
And it is a lot like wearing a rubber mask the entire time.
If it means that much to you, you're going to go through the effort.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wedge.
Hey, it was Wedge then I saw earlier to the left, because that was the dude I was talking about.
Yeah. That's Ewan McGregor's uncle.
It's a trap!
If they're being jammed, then how do they get the comms through?
Don't think about it too hard, Rick, or it all falls apart. Right, that's the thing you got to just do from time to time when watching things. It's something you just got to ignore certain elements, otherwise you'll be here all day.
Yeah, just the swarm of TIE interceptors.
Isn't Wedge the leader of Rogue Squadron at this point?
Yes.
So why is he answering to Gold Leader?
Because Wedge doesn't get to be a general until like another 10 years' time.
Oh,
partially because he keeps refusing promotions because he wants to keep flying.
There's one guy at work who refuses to be promoted to manager because he doesn't fucking want it.
Yeah.
Mind you, that being said, I don't want to end my career in retail. You know? So, not that I'm getting offered to be manager, but if I did, I would also be like, nah, I'm good.
Yep.
There's a certain level of management where you just get shit from all sides and it don't seem worth it.
Totally. Middle management is what that's called.
Yeah, middle management can fuck off. Don't get me wrong, being a lonely worker scum, I do give shit to middle management. Because that's who I have to give shit to.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to take it straight to the CEO.
As if they'd fucking listen. They don't listen to anyone. They don't give a fuck. They're too far up their own asses.
Yep.
It's okay. No one from corporate's going to watch this. I apologise in advance. You're going to hear a clicky click as I open up a can of soda. And Rick just made it even more painful by doing the noise of his mouth. Oh yeah, it was the old dude who took the Stormtrooper outfit. You see, with his hand at his head.
Mm-hmm. So what really got me was that the Scout Walkers got the nickname Chicken Walkers.
Did they?
Obviously because they walk like chickens. But the AT-ATs never got like their own animal walker name.
Yeah, they don't really need it.
Yeah, just Imperial Walkers.
It's weird, isn't it, that you can see in this iteration of C-3PO, he's got like a pipe connecting his arm joints.
Yeah.
Like his forearm to his upper arm.
Oh yeah, so that's one of the things that's a really difficult thing in mechanics. To make a strong joint like that, you probably do actually need a lever in between.
Yeah, but it seems to depend on what episode you're watching, because it seems to fluctuate between episodes.
Sure.
Just a reminder for how shit and pointless Stormtrooper armor is, in that a bow and arrow can still pierce it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are literally just wearing it to look cool.
Yep, spears and rocks.
I will admit, it is very cool to see the AT-ST get smashed between two giant logs.
Yeah, that's one of the better Ewok scenes.
Fuck off, how about that? Yeah, kill the little fuckers.
Drop a rock on his head and let it go bonk.
See that one Stormtrooper just fucking pick one up and yeet it?
Yep.
Doesn't this super not work?
Oh, it doesn't work at all.
Oh, you fucks.
It makes that one leg go a little bit slower for like a small amount of time.
It's really depressing because there's real science there and thinking on behalf of the Ewoks, but they were just too stupid to realise they weren't strong enough.
Yeah, snow speeders, they ain't.
Did he just knock himself the fuck out?
He did. Which may have also been one of those accidents.
Maybe. I remember watching Deadliest Warrior, which I think I brought up more than once, where they used to test ancient weaponry so they could do a bullshit final fight, which would be acted out. And it was all bullshit. The numbers were made up. It didn't mean anything. But when they were doing a medieval flail, the guy who was testing it and demonstrating it had to wear a fucking Kevlar helmet.
Ah, yes.
Because so many times people would just fuck up and kill themselves.
Man.
Yeah.
The music has gotten sad and desperate, so you know the Ewoks are starting to lose.
Good, fuck them. I shouldn't be this hyped for genocide, but I'm pretty hyped for it. Plus, it doesn't matter, does it? Because at the end of the day, we know the Ewoks don't actually lose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's scummy, isn't it?
Yep.
Where are we going to target first? Let's target their medical centre.
Yep. Yeah. Let's target the refugees, the medical centre. Although, if you're the Rebel Alliance, you wouldn't bring the refugees to this.
That used to be why Cao Cao would attack refugees and fleeing civilians during the Three Kingdoms period. Because when Liu Bei retreated from county to county, it was rather famously documented that he'd take as many civilians as he could. And it was always under the assumption and the claim that Liu Bei is like, no, they follow me, they want to be my people, so they're coming with me. But Cao Cao was like, bullshit, you're trying to use them as human shields, so he just fucking slaughtered them.
Yep.
Which, even if Cao Cao was correct, that doesn't make it okay.
Yep.
I absolutely adore that even when they make a new Death Star, they don't give it safety rails.
Yeah. Not even from the laser chambers.
See, here's the difference between a tactician and a commander.
Yep. It did bug me why they didn't just go around the other side of the Death Star.
It can turn.
Yeah. But also, ships can move as well, so just keep playing keep away with where the laser is.
True.
Or move to the underside. Just make it the most annoying thing in the world for the Death Star to try and, rotate to look at them.
Yeah. It's not fully operational, so maybe they haven't got anything to keep gravity, in place up yet.
Yeah.
But if they're sorry, I don't like it when R2 gets shot.
Nope. It's showing all his Swiss Army parts.
Is that the most damage R2's ever taken at once?
No, he got shot in the head by Vader. When in A New Hope.
Did he?
Yeah. In the Death Star trench run, Vader shoots him in the head.
Yeah, but it seemed to be relatively superficial damage compared to that.
Oh, it was basically non-operational from there until it got repaired.
Fuck it. What do I know then? Now, I know we're meant to feel sorrow at this scene, but I don't care.
Aww. The Ewok has had to not embrace death, encounter death.
Yeah, they seem to have really upped how much of how long of a recharge speed the laser has for the Death Star, haven't they?
Yeah. Because it makes it more, dramatic if it's got recharge speed, like a cooldown time.
Man, as an aside, I do find the adverts with the Cal Kestis actor and Mark Hamill to be fucking great.
Yeah.
It's like, actually, I can split my lightsaber into two, and Mark Hamill just walks off while shaking his head.
Then they start playing on the PlayStation on set.
I will say kudos to the Cal Kestis actor. I'm glad he managed to get to live his dream. I'm glad when people get to act in things they want to act in.
Yeah, totally.
Which is why, while I feel bad for Henry Cavill for losing out on both Witcher and Superman, like, at least the silver lining is he's got the Emperor. Well, actually, we don't know he's playing the Emperor. We know he's involved in the Warhammer 40k project.
Yeah, considering all the Primarchs are technically clones of the Emperor, he might as well be all the Primarchs.
At least the loyal ones. You say they're all clones, but they all look different and act different.
Oh yeah, they're Clone Force 99 clones.
I don't remember Chewie doing that.
No, it was the... I know Chewie did the thing, but I thought it was an Ewok that did the Tarzan noise.
I think it was Chewie doing the noise.
Fair.
I will say, I know it's because it's the actual actor in the suit, but Chewie looks a lot leaner in these older movies.
Yeah, he looks more like a barbarian in the later ones.
Well, he looks thicker, like heavy set. Like, he looks like his width matches his height.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, the OG guy in the suit for Chewbacca was just a very tall, lanky dude. Like, he wasn't muscly or anything.
Yeah, they could get Steve Merchant to do it now.
Yeah, but I'd rather not. I don't think Steve Merchant's earned that.
No, he's also not very coordinated.
I've not seen him move. I've only ever seen him sat down.
Yeah. And animated.
I've got no beef with Stephen Merchant. I just, you know, if I'm going to give that role to someone, I'd want someone to be fucking like, no, I super love Star Wars, and I don't think Stephen Merchant's that person. He might be a super nerd, but I don't think he is. Jump off!
Yeah. That was pretty brutal.
This is the one.
Yeah.
The one genuinely cool moment that the Ewoks are a part of.
Yeah.
That is some old school, like, that looks like claymation.
Yeah, it does. Like, that's some proper Tom and Jerry shit. If it falls over once, it just explodes.
Yeah, like cars in movies. Well done, Han, you fucked it up.
Yep. Oh no, she was shot by a blaster, not by a
Are we going to ignore Han just copying the feel there?
Yeah. We best had.
Wasn't Harrison Ford a super creepy motherfucker at this point?
Yeah, and he was like 15 years older than her. Double kill.
Oh, this is where they get the fake out with Chewie, right?
Yep. Yeah, R2's still not put all his toys away.
Oh, Chewie, you bastard, you gave me a heart attack. I will say this is probably the most intense lightsaber fight we've seen up until this point.
Yes.
Oh, fuck, that's terrible!
Yeah,
Oh, the way... Ah!
there's that one in A New Hope when...
Yeah, when he gets shot by Millennium Falcon. What?
What? What? But yeah, I think this is the one that's like the most justified in being an intense saber fight.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, we even brought it up in Empire. In Empire, Vader is entirely toying with Luke.
Oh, yes.
Not to mention, he doesn't actually want to kill Luke either. I can't remember if Vader's only one doing the one-handed shit in Empire, but here he's definitely two-handing.
Yep. You might one-hand when he's trying to do saber and force at the same time.
Yeah, but that's not, taking the piss.
Yeah. That's not just one-handing because he can't be arsed.
It's a detail. I love it whenever it comes up. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause they do it in the Clone Wars all the time as well. It's a trait he kept even from being Anakin.
Yeah.
Is that the first time we've seen a saber throw?
Yeah. And from this point on, you realise, why don't they just do that all the time? Just boomerang the lightsaber all the time. Don't even bother wielding it. Just have 30 of them.
Well, it's not that easy. Like, it's still... I don't know the details of how the fuck Luke got a kyber crystal, but at this point in time, for definitely, they're a rarity.
Yeah, apparently the green one for Luke is like properly synthetic.
Oh, okay.
And he found like a Jedi tome that has the details on how to make a synthetic one, and that's how he does it. It takes him like a month to like temper it in a little clay oven that he like has at Obi-Wan's house.
Sure.
And also, there's a deleted scene of him like activating his lightsaber for the first time,
and then he's chopping his head off.
No, but like activating his new one for the first time.
Sure.
Assembling it and putting it together, which is ostensibly what he was meant to be doing, like at the time when his hologram was parlaying with Jabba.
Sure. The timeline's always been fucky with Star Wars.
Oh yeah, like travel time is either instant or weeks.
I'll tell you what, there's always been one exception for the Darth Vader toying with you rule with the one-handed thing. And that's when he goes for that killing... he thinks he's got a killing blow, and he one-hands it so he can just strike so fucking quickly.
Yep.
That's the other exception, which I quite enjoy.
Yeah, because it's one of the things that people seem to miss a lot is that Vader still thinks it's Obi-Wan training Luke.
Yeah.
And that Obi-Wan has been training Luke for a long time.
Obi-Wan didn't teach Luke dick.
Nah. He taught him how to operate a remote to train yourself in lightsaber blaster bolt defense.
Yeah. And then said, run to Dagobah.
Yeah. You must go to the Dagobah system.
Man, the music's just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Darth Vader having grabbed the fucking handrail for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh look, Luke's using Darth Vader's tech against him.
Yeah.
I didn't learn that from Obi-Wan, I learned it from watching you!
Yeah, the music being all ominous is just the lead up to the Emperor's music being the dominant one now.
Yeah.
I think the Emperor's music is the only one, apart from, like, Jedi Rocks, that actually has voice in it. Not vocals, just voice as an instrument.
Okay.
At least for now, anyway. Obviously, it comes back up again with Duel of the Fates.
Yeah.
I like that touch that Luke is still being respectful even while being defiant.
Yeah, because he's a farm boy.
Yeah.
Like, we had the first hints of Sidious, or sorry, he's not even called Palpatine at this point, is he? He's just called the Emperor.
Yes, but he might be in the credits as Emperor Palpatine.
Sure. But we got the thing where we got the first hints that the Emperor isn't as feeble as he keeps showing people when he came down the stairs without his cane.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going to know he's really not powerless in a minute when he starts Force Lightning a bitch.
Yeah, he's going to need both hands for double-fisted Force Lightning.
Then you will die. I don't know McDermott from anything other than Imps.
No, me either.
But I would love to see him. I would love to see him in other roles, just to see. It's hard to picture this dude as anything other than a villain, but it's also like watching him in the prequel trilogy. Like he doesn't always play just straight up evil. Like, he is playing an evil character, but like in episode 1, he's doing a perfect front of a model good guy.
Like, especially in episode 1, because he's like being like a proper mentor to Amidala.
Yeah. Everything he suggests is for the betterment of Naboo and to help it.
Yeah.
I do like the touch where there's a moment where Vader can't keep watching and he has to look away for a minute, and that's the point where he's actually probably genuinely thinking about, should I let this happen?
Yeah. I think the addition of the word no was a addition.
Sure.
That wasn't in the original.
I think the first one, the second one as he's lifting, I distinctly remember.
Yeah. Like, the first one I think was just added for the special editions. Either that or this is the first time I'm listening to it with headphones on.
It's been a while, man. Before today, I can't tell you the last time I watched this.
Like, it has been a while, but I can also say I've never watched it with headphones before.
Yeah, same. I've never watched it on a computer.
Yeah.
I've watched it on DVD or video.
I'm old enough to have seen the special editions when they came to cinema.
Well, there you go.
And yet, I never saw Return of the Jedi at cinema.
Fair enough.
Because we had the choice of watch Empire or Jedi. Because they all came out like 2 weeks of each other.
That was really poor planning on the release guys' front. It would have been, what, Fox at the time?
Yeah, so they were all within a couple of weeks of each other, and they were all around at the same time. Like, at least give it, like, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, as if they were real movies.
Yeah. Give people a chance to, recover from movie night and have next month's movie night.
Well, he's going to die. Like, I don't recognise the actor or the outfit, therefore he is just going to be there to get shot.
Yeah, there's apparently... It may or may not be meant to be that character, but the X-Wing books invent a character called Tycho, who is meant to have flown an A-Wing through the Death Star. And it might be meant to be that character, but he's definitely not credited as that in the movies.
Sure. Well, that's the end of that character.
Yep.
So here's an interesting thing, right? And I know it's not a direct parallel, but this is space battles are the equivalent of the Navy, right?
Yeah, usually. They are called like the Imperial Navy.
Yeah. So historically speaking, naval officers and sailors don't tend to celebrate when they sink another ship.
Usually not, but these are freedom fighters.
No, I'm sure, but like, you know, like you want a bit of historical accuracy.
Yeah.
Like when the Bismarck got sunk, rather famously in World War II, there was no real celebrations on the Allied side. Just like when the Hood got sunk, there was reported not very many. Like it's people's duties, but it's a sad affair.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You don't want there to be a winner. You just don't want to be the loser in that kind of fight. Not least because winning means you're killing a worthy opponent.
It's not even that. It's just like it's not like the way I saw it described best was there's footage of an interview with a survivor from the Hood, and that is that when you see a ship go down, you just see a ship go down. You have to not think about all of the lives aboard the ship, because when a ship goes down, in reality, you've got hundreds of people you're killing.
Yep.
And like, it's nothing about glory or excitement. It's literally just you sunk a ship, and that's hundreds of people that you have just condemned to no longer be alive. You know,
yeah,
it's not a glorious thing.
You
just gotta
like conscripts as well.
It wouldn't have been conscripts during the Second World War, but not for the Navy. Not for that particular conflict. Almost all volunteers in the Navy.
Oh, that particular one, yeah. Because both my grandfathers were in the Royal Navy for the war. Like everyone had to fight. So.
Yeah,
and they weren't exactly nobles, so it's not like but Roald Dahl, for instance, who was he's a well-to-do guy who ended up being an Air Force commander.
Well,
but like these guys were just normal people who signed up.
The difference here is if you're a sailor or in the Air Force, you have to know what you're fucking doing.
Yeah.
So usually those weren't conscripts; those were usually people who volunteered or signed up, or like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, one granddad was he was the galley chef.
Sure.
So he basically meant he didn't have to know anything about sailing. He just happened to be on the boat and he did the cooking. And he ate all the pineapples.
So basically when he got shore leave and got to bang hookers, they fucking love sucking his dick.
We even went to his haunt at one point. It was Bugis Street in Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Which was the red light district in Singapore.
Yeah.
But nowadays, they built more Singapore, so Bugis Street is now in the middle rather than on the docks.
Sure.
And it's now like trendy malls. And we half expected some people to just be native locals that just... You'd hear someone laugh and it'd just be his signature genetic laugh.
Sure. The two reactions to escaping an impossible situation. Fucking cheers of joy and the other guy nervously laughing going, I thought I was gonna die.
Yeah. Well, the third one is just like adrenaline failure, where you just kind of sink into your seat and just...
That doesn't make good cinema, does it, Rick?
No. But you could see it. You could show it, you know? Someone who's been on edge, like, clearly this entire time just finally gets to relax. Here comes the final line.
I do like the memes of like there's a meme video where they put like the Ironside music over that. Make the screen go grey and then cut back to the scene in A New Hope.
So 2 smooches right in a row.
Yeah.
So if you count the language that he's saying, then technically Warwick did have the last say.
Okay.
But yeah, the last intelligible words were, "He's my brother."
No? Doesn't Leia say something to Luke during this?
No.
Oh, I could have sworn they did.
No more words.
Fair enough. And definitely my favourite piece of music from Star Wars.
Yeah. And the different arrangements thereof, like the higher energy versions.
Yeah, I like the low energy sad one. Not even sad, bittersweet.
My favourite one of these is the opening to Revenge of the Sith.
Sure. This has been added, by the way.
Yes, definitely.
We'll see
added.
We'll see Naboo in a minute.
We get to see our first shot of Coruscant is during this ending scene. Yeah, so Tatooine, Bespin. There we go, and Naboo. And there we go, Coruscant.
This ain't the first shot, though, because it was added after the prequels, wasn't it?
No, it was when the prequels were in production. I think even Naboo was even added after the prequels were made.
Sorry, the traditional toppling of the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fair enough then. There's Admiral Akbar just chilling with Ewoks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're saying, but I like your vibe. Where did those bones come from to drum on the drums?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Dude, I want that fucking Lando. Give him a series of him just being a fucking rogue.
Yeah. Well, even I know it's a dead horse at this point, but in the Thrawn books, Lando has a reasonably large role.
Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
It's almost as if Timothy Zahn actually cared about all the characters that show up in Star Wars.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then he had his own OCs, but that's by the by.
That's fine. Filoni has Ahsoka and she's in fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. No one's gonna bother. I like seeing Hayden there, but I still feel like it was a disservice to the dude.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, on the playground, try getting people to believe you that Hayden Christensen didn't fucking go back in time.
Yes, this is the post-prequels version.
Round of applause.
Because, yeah. Patchy.
Which is going to fuck me later on when I edit and I see clapping. But,
No, it's okay. I just said patchy. I didn't actually clap.
Oh, I did actually clap. Discord might have silenced it.
It did.
Ah, cool. Yeah. So, behind the scenes, guys, whenever an episode ends, so I know where to cut, so I don't have to fucking fuck around, I clap twice.
Sure.
Let's see if he's credited as Emperor Palpatine, shall we?
Yeah, let's start. Let's shall. He might be in this one because it's post. Oh, it's just the Emperor.
It's the Emperor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sebastian Shaw is still. There we go. This is the old credits.
Which is
so Sebastian Shaw is still down there as
very
Jeff Vader.
very weird, isn't it? Considering they replaced him with Hayden Christensen.
I mean, he was in the movie.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though, right? Because he did do the Force Ghost in the original as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I didn't see Dave Prowse. Or maybe he's not credited as an actor, despite doing all of the physical work for Vader.
Yeah, because Peter Mayhew was definitely credited as
as Chewie.
As Chewie.
Very odd. Mind you, don't forget they didn't like they were a bit pissy with Prowse at this point because he went to that Comic-Con and spoilt they'll probably be here because Kenny Baker's as R2.
Yeah.
Dennis Lawson, that's McGregor's uncle, is it?
Yep.
Jeremy Bullock, who's dead now, unfortunately. Fat Dancer, that's not nice, is it?
Paplu is also Kenny Baker.
Ah.
So I'm guessing that's one of the other Ewoks.
Then they did 3 people to puppet Jabba.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't put... I didn't see David Prowse anywhere.
Strange.
That's very odd. Did he not play the body of Vader in Empire? In Jedi? I don't remember him being replaced.
I don't remember him being replaced, but it could be a piece of trivia that he was. Maybe they wanted someone who was more agile with the saber fighting.
Yeah, but wasn't the whole reason for that literally because of the suit, though, not because of him?
It might have been a combination of both, like the suit, him, and just... Generally, they hired him to be big and intimidating, not to have, like, intricate fights. And then they just realised they wanted more and more intricate fights. Just so they could show off how heroic their hero was. And Luke's journey from jobber to master.
Yeah. I've got conflicting information here because one of them is Prowse stated he was originally told he would be seen and heard at the end of Return of the Jedi when Vader's mask was removed, but instead Sebastian Shaw was used.
Sure.
And the next one was, why wasn't David Prowse in Return of the Jedi? And it says apparently there was financial disputes.
Okay.
But sadly the feud continued in the... Fuck off. Fucking... Yes, your cookies, I get it. Fuck off. According to an article by Daily News, Lucas and Prowse's feud started long before the actor was barred from any Star Wars events in 2010. What? No, he was in Empire Strikes, in Return of the Jedi, but apparently his name got struck because George Lucas and him had a bit of a fight.
Okay.
So, that's fucking scummy.
Yeah.
According to Prowse, the explanation for the decision was... After inquiring, the only thing I've been told is that I have burnt too many bridges between Lucasfilm and myself. No other reason given.
Yeah, that's basically the other person doesn't like you. And refuses to elaborate further and leaves.
But even then, that's not talking about his name not being in the credits. It's talking about him not being allowed to show up at conventions as Darth Vader, which is... Oh, is it...
Ewoks and named as Ewoks.
Oh, fair enough, but only in the credits.
Yes.
Google any of these people and they're all probably little people.
Almost certainly.
Or children.
Just as likely.
But at the same time, how many...
The Jawas were just children, weren't they? They weren't actually people with dwarfism.
Very quickly, fuck all these people.
Oh, for the special effects people.
Yeah. Except for the film restoration supervisor, because, that's an important job. And fuck you, Jerry Hay! I'm not... I want to say this is all tongue-in-cheek. I don't actually care that much. I'm just poking fun. I don't want this to be misconstrued as bullying.
Generally, I think they did a reasonable job with the special editions. I think A New Hope got the most positively added. Because, the scene with Jabba, okay, it was a bit jank when Han runs around the back of him and steps on his tail. But that was them working with the limitations of the footage that they had. Have
you seen that, though, without the special effects? Because it's so fucking funny. Because it's just some fat Yorkshire man.
Yeah. It's just a dude in a brown costume.
Oh, he looks like he came off the set of another show.
Yeah.
Sorry, no offence to the gentleman in question. I, too, am a man of courage. But...
Yeah.
It's funny.
This was like back before they wanted to make Hutt into a race, and they just had Jabba the Hutt as a name, assuming that Hutt was a title rather than anything else, like Attila the Hun.
But they knew he wasn't going to look like just a regular human because Harrison Ford specifically gave him a massive berth.
Maybe.
If you experienced any condition that distracted from the theatrical presentation of this film, please call 1-800-PHOENIX. I don't think that's meant to be there.
Phone THX.
Well, I thought it said Phoenix, but in like leet speak.
Yeah, no, it's phone THX, as in the company THX.
So, at possibly the longest we've ever recorded on a review, I'd have to check back at nearly 3 hours unedited. Rick, what did you think of the legendary movie known as Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi?
I think it met most people's expectations of being the end of Star Wars for as long as it was the end of Star Wars. And I basically generally like almost everything about it. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it was good. I don't have anything too negative to say, really, apart from my weakest link, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So, yeah, I'm going to cut it short, really, because it's a good movie. You should watch the original trilogy at least once in your life. That being said, Rick, do you have a favourite moment?
My favourite moment is just after Vader's been taunting Luke in the Emperor's bedroom about sister, and Luke starts going mental on him and just overpowers him with rage.
Which is exactly what the Emperor wants.
Yeah, exactly. And then Luke has his lucid moment of, this is exactly what he wants, I should stop now. And yeah, so how about you? What was your favourite moment?
Yeah, my favourite moment is going to reveal the child that I am, and that is the lightsaber fight in this film's pretty fucking good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's great. It's got emotion behind it, which is something that I feel like a lot of... Okay, I don't want to shit on fan creators, I really don't, and that's not my intention, and I apologise if you feel like that's what I'm doing. But a lot of fan creators will make a 20-minute video of an epic lightsaber duel, but there's no emotion in it. It's just fancy sword fighting, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah, like any good sword fighter would end that fight sooner. Yes, it's implied that they're both as good as each other and they're stuck in a feedback loop of not being able to defeat each other because they're all second, third, fourth and fifth guessing each other with the Force.
I think the best fan lightsaber duel I've seen in a long time, I don't think it's been beaten, is there was one that involved Darth Maul and like 4 Jedi.
Yeah.
Because there was a story there. The story was a bit weak, but I don't care. There was a reason for everything to be happening. Like, it was all because the Jedi were there for a reason. The Jedi were there because Emperor Palpatine gave an anonymous tip to the Jedi that there's a Sith here, and then he phones up Darth Maul and tells Darth Maul, this is your final test.
Yep, and you know Maul's gonna win because that's not where he dies.
Well, yeah, and also, like, you get a moment near the end where Darth Maul really respects the final Jedi because they've managed to go toe-to-toe for so long, but Palpatine's watching, so...
Yep.
Off with your head. But yeah, I do want to give a runner-up moment to Slave Leia in the bikini because that back shot did show me why people like this outfit. Anyway, that being said, Rick, do you have a weakest link?
Generally too much Tatooine, but I think we're all going to focus in on Jedi Rocks. It was the thing that took the longest. And
it didn't need to be added, George.
No, leave it alone, George. How about you? How much are you agreeing with me on this?
I mean, I agree with you 100%. Like, specifically Jedi Rocks did not need to be there. I didn't think Tatooine were on there for too long, but that's because I have fond memories of Tatooine. But yeah, my weakest link's actually going to be the Ewoks. I didn't like the Ewoks anyway, but I never found them that offensive. But looking at them in this one, apart from Warwick's Ewok, they all look grotesque.
Yeah.
They are horrible looking creatures, and their first instinct is to eat the main characters.
Yeah, this is true.
This isn't a race that is going to be on the fucking stage going forward to shape the realm. They're not going to get a seat at Coruscant.
No. Although they do get their own animated season.
Are we going to watch the Christmas special one day, Rick?
Oh, we might.
I've never seen it.
We might even watch the Ewoks and Droids animations.
You can do that on your own time.
Man, I remember when I watched Droids one time when we rented it from the video store, and I didn't know what a droid was. So when you had to write what you did in a story at school, I put in my diary, I watched a video about drugs.
Damn. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the only reason I want to watch the Christmas special is I know it's notoriously bad and most of the cast and crew were drugged off their mind while filming it.
Yep.
That being said, we don't like to end on a negative. We always want to end on a positive. And what more positive moment can we end on than giving out the MVP award? So, Rick, I genuinely don't know who you're going to pick, so lay it on me.
This time, I'm going to go with Emperor Palpatine, Ian McDiarmid. He's in full command of every scene that he's in.
Yeah.
And just as much as I gave it to Vader last time for being in command of his scenes, Palpatine just devours the scenery, and he seems to have a lot of fun doing it every moment he's in. So yeah, Palpatine from me. How about you?
Just like I was saying, I generally don't know who you were going to pick. I'm really torn because I can see several people being given the award. That being said, I'm going to have to give it to Leia.
Sure.
If only because in this film, she is finally more than just a princess. Now, we saw glimpses of it last episode, but again, most of the time in episode 5, Empire, she is just being used as a Leia's in danger. We should help Leia.
Yes, like, she was very much a playmaker at all stages in this. Like, she sneaks in as Boosh, she bides her time as Slave Leia, she takes out Jabba herself, like...
Yeah.
And then she's the one that basically gets the Ewoks on her side.
Well, that's not true, is it? That's Luke and C-3PO.
Yeah, she gets Wicket on her side, and yeah, Luke and Creepio manage to do the rest of the heavy lifting.
Yeah, it's one of those, actually, come to think of it. Leia is in distress more than Zero in this film, I grant you, more than any of the male characters. But, yeah, like, I'm specifically leaning towards the back half of the film during the actual fighting and the conflict, because she fucking kicks names and takes ass. That was the wrong way round. Sorry, takes names and kicks ass. I don't know why I did that the wrong way round. I'm sorry.
I assumed it was on purpose.
It wasn't. I just fucked up. But yeah, I think Emperor Palpatine and Leia are both very worthy recipients of the MVP award. I could see Lando, Han, Luke, even fucking Chewie equally getting the award. But yeah, I think we got done well.
Yeah. Like, everyone did something good.
Yeah. Except for Boba. But yeah, that's going to do it from us today. And that's the end of Space Month. We've got it. We're in the end. I think this episode is as long as every other space episode combined.
Yes.
But
not true, actually, because I think, like, even if you put the two Bad Batch episodes together, I think you meet the runtime.
That was a retro.
I suppose. Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I meant for this year as well. I didn't mean last year's.
Oh, for this year, yeah.
Because last year's we did Empire, Rick.
Yeah, true. I mean, Farscape was an hour, so yeah, that'd have been an hour and a bit.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I was being facetious. But yeah, that means next year's space year, we're probably going to start doing the prequels.
Yeah, so it would seem.
That being said, I've got some good news for anyone listening via audio. We're releasing a bonus episode exclusive to our audio platforms, which is our planning each month. So you'll be hearing the planning we did for May tomorrow, if you're listening via audio. If you're watching via YouTube, you'll have to hop over to one of our audio platforms to listen to that. Sorry, them's the breaks, kid.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if you've got anything to say to us and you're watching, you've got the comment section. If you're listening, you've got the email address as always, which is
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Yes, a billion times yes. So that's about all we've got to say today, which we've been talking for 3 hours, guys. Cut us some slack and join us next week where we watch something brand fucking new.
We do. See you later, everyone.